Welcome to another episode of Two Whites and a Blue. My name is Julie, here with Will and Mike, and we're not using Zoom today.
We're not with Will either.
We're not with Will. We got another guy here, Jordan.
First official guest.
That's right. You may or may not know. He's filling in for Will on the third mic. Let's right off the hop here, okay? Let's get something straight. This is a troubling time for a lot of people. There's a lot going on in the U.S. Between the riots, the protests, racial tensions, and not a lot of good things happening in the United States, and some in Canada and some in Europe and things like that. And there's things we could talk about on this show, but this is not really that kind of show. And
we could just say it's brutal, and it shouldn't happen. It's unfortunate that
shouldn't happen.
A revolution, it is a revolutionary, and unfortunately that guy had to lose his life for this shit to change.
Yeah,
it's brutal, man.
All you can hope is that things get better.
That's it, and we're not going to say anything on this show that's going to be breaking any news or.
We can pay respects.
That's it.
I support the cause. And
Me
yada,
too.
yada,
Me too. So whether you want to keep listening or not, knowing we're not going to talk about it, it's up to you. We support you either way.
You still got an episode coming out this weekend, next week. And
that's right. They're going to keep coming, and we're going to support that cause any way we can, whether it's talking to our friends or doing whatever else is going on. The thing about stuff like that is that it's hot button. The news changes all the time. The details change all the time, and we don't want to get in a position where we say what we think is the right thing. It turns out to be the wrong thing.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
That's right. And so we're gonna leave it be for today, and just know that we're thinking about it. I'm sure Will's thinking about it too. We talk about it in our podcast group chat. We know that this is something that's on people's minds, but we're not gonna hit it today. Instead, we're gonna go with the usual content, and so. In the spirit of the usual content and the direction we always start with, should we start with Jordan? What did you spend your money on last week, Jordan? This is interesting because usually I know what I'm getting from Will and Mike, but you're an unknown quantity. So what did you spend your dough on last 7 days?
To be honest with you, not really anything.
So
I got a new girlfriend, and she's been spending a lot of money lately. But
I could swear we just talked about this.
A lot of your money, or a lot of her money?
A lot of her money. But personally, I haven't really spent a whole lot of money in the last couple months.
What you have for dinner tonight?
I had right wingers, which is
spending some money.
Was it free?
Certainly not free.
Strip for it? How'd you get it? You must have got it somehow.
It was fucking tasty. Well worth it.
I haven't had
well worth it.
In a long
It was a
time.
cash job.
Cash deal?
Cash job.
They've never done me wrong, I'll tell you that.
You didn't spend any money on anything else? Nothing.
I've been golfing.
This is what I'm saying. So, where'd you go golfing?
Where did we go?
Brant
Valley.
Brant Valley, yeah.
Yeah, and then we got a round tomorrow at Tyandaga.
Nice.
Yeah, what'd you buy? You bought the coupons for that
Coupons,
shit.
yeah. So
where did you get the coupons? From Groupon?
Underpar.com.
Oh, okay.
Great deal.
Shout out to them.
They don't sponsor the show. Don't point the fucking camera.
Oh, okay.
They don't sponsor the show, and we don't point at the camera for
You
them.
pay us, we'll give you more ads.
We only point at the camera for Shake Pay, and even they don't pay us. But someone else has to pay for us to get money.
Speaking about Shake Pay.
Yeah, kids talking.
Yeah, George got some. No, was it Shake Pay that you got it on?
Shake Pay, yeah. Last year he picked up his first BTC.
He got me right into it
at the Cottage.
Yeah, that was I personally enjoyed that. So
it was prime.
Joe goes and gets $100 of Bitcoin on a whim because Joey over here is like a fucking Bitcoin salesman.
Pressure, bud.
Within 10 minutes, I had about $100.
$100, yeah. Him just having a conversation. George just
buys
buys it, and then selfishly, I'm just like, I want to see how. Like, George, how much did you lose?
Every hour he was asking me the whole weekend.
Because it's so jokes. It's such a it's a quick response. Every time it changes, you can see it.
Trades 24/7.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're looking. I'm like, what's it at? How much you lose? And he buys it within the first 10 minutes. He lost $3. And I was like, this is great. Because it's a vault, but at the same time, as you lose $3, you can gain $3. It's that quick.
That's average volatility for BTC.
Right.
What did you spend your money on?
I just fucking spent a lot of money today.
Let's fucking hear it.
So I bought, the car. It's the car. So last week I bought by the way, it's breakaway auto glass. I never got it. It's breakaway auto glass. Like I said, can't hold them in any high regards. Great place to get your windshields fixed. So now I'm back, still spending money on the car, and I'm going to say it again. Next week I'm going to be spending money on my car. I bought tires. So I got a quote. I went to the place. I had to get my brake rotors measured and everything. So I had to go to the garage this morning. Bought them. Didn't buy anything. I went to he had to measure the rotors or whatever. Like, I'm a mechanic. I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm just like, here, go ahead, look at my shit. And he's telling me all this stuff. So I get a quote. And he's obviously looking at my tires. He's doing my brakes. He's like, dude, like, you really got to get your tire changed. I'm like, yeah, I know, man. You've been saying that. I've been getting this car serviced. This is the second time we got it.
Air bars showing.
Yeah, literally, he's like, it's below rubber. You got to get these changed. And I wasn't in a financial position where I could do that. And I just kind of ride it out. Like I said, it's a stupid purchase, but fuck it, I'm dealing with it. My lesson to learn, not yours.
The car was a dumb purchase.
It's my lesson to learn, not yours.
Okay.
Anyway, so I go and I bought new tires. So I got a quote for my brakes and my pads and rotors, sorry. And he's looking at it. He's like, yeah, I'll send you a quote for 2 tires. Your back tires are okay, but I'll give you a quote for 2 front tires. So he gives me an email. I already went down to this place, Tirecraft, in Dundas.
Yeah.
Great guy, Brian. I don't know his last name. For all I know, he's Brian Tirecraft. Great guy. Like, if you go and buy tires off him, he'll just fix your flats for free. Like, he's that kind of guy. You do business with him, he'll help you out.
I bought something before. He's good.
Great guy.
Knows how to do business with people.
So he gives me a quote on these tires. He's like, I'll give you 3 options. You can go high end, $250 a tire, because that's the kind of car it is. Like, it's a handle. You want to. It's a sports car.
Oh yeah.
Performance car, I guess.
Right.
So he gives me 3 options. So the first one was called an Iron Man, and they were $250 a pop. And I'm like, next, because I'm not spending $1,000 on tires. Then he goes, the next one's called the Hercules. I'm like, okay, so that's like your average, probably $700 for all 4. Mm-hmm. And I said yes to that, and then I was sitting in my car. I'm like, I got it. I have to. Like, I got the quote from JB Auto, Johnny Bravo. That's his name.
Really?
It's Joe Bravo.
Nice, great name.
Great guy.
Both,
He's fair, and that's what this Tirecraft guy says. Joe's fair. So whatever quote he gives, I'll be probably within the same realm. But then he goes, he's looking at it. He goes, I can give you these cheap tires. The only difference is that you'll get the same mileage out of these tires as you would the high end, but the handling will be different. Like, these are for handling, right? You're coming down, like you're coming on an on ramp. Yeah. You're going 110. You'll feel the difference when you're turning, and they're for handling. And I'm like, fuck, man, like, I'm not a race car. Just give me the fucking cheap ones.
Those are summer tires, right?
They're all burners. They're all seasons.
Okay.
They go, okay, so I'm like, I want all seasons.
Should still get some winters, but
I'm going to get winters, but that's for another episode. So
yeah.
I got these. They were $110 a tire.
Pretty good.
Really good.
Pretty good.
Really good. Then the quote I got from Joe, he's gonna go performance. He's that's what he's doing there.
Right.
2 tires, $580. I'm like, I got 4 tires for $510,
Wow.
like all in.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll get these. That's fine. So that's what I spent my money. Oh, and then obviously I'm leaving the tire place. I gotta get a car wash.
100%.
Gotta get a car wash.
I haven't paid for a car wash in probably
good for you, man.
5 years.
Good for you.
I'm not saying I've
No, but
washed
you do
it.
the points.
No?
You do the points shit. You used to. That was like you're in Kenzie's
I know,
date.
I haven't in a long time. I used to get the car with a touchless at Esso back in the day. But now I never do it. I should. My car, it was my dad's car, or my dad's former car. The Volkswagen I used to wash pretty frequently, probably the first 3 years I had it. And then I just stopped when I turned like 24, 25.
The way I was looking at it, and I was saying this earlier, like, the initial thought of spending money on your car kind of sucks.
Once you're there.
But once you're there, you're spending the money. Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm spending the money, and then, like, at that point, I'm leaving the place. I already dropped $500. Like, what's another 20 on a car wash?
Do you ever hear what other people are spending on their car, and you're like, you know what, 800's not that bad.
I just spent like another guy I know. I just spent like $800 getting my windows tinted, like
Easy.
on like aesthetic.
I think my tints cost like $600.
Yeah, you got some aesthetics. I remember you showed up with new rims one time. I was like, fuck, man.
Yeah, I was thinking about that actually on the way down here today. How much I wasted my dollars.
If you can hear that train, we're recording outside. If you're not watching,
Cut it.
nah, you can let it. It's cool.
Last week, as far as my financial
we didn't ask.
expenditures, well, it's part of the show.
I'm curious.
I didn't spend money on a lot of stuff last week. I've been looking at a lot of summer gear because I have a good feeling about COVID kind of coming to a close here. Yeah, no, absolutely.
What do you mean by summer gear?
I was going to get some workout shorts, some I want to get some like 7 or 9 inch shorts. Some that shows a little back thigh.
Yeah, for sure.
Lulu's.
Yeah,
Lulu's
the
are
Lulu's
great
Lulu's
shorts.
you bought me a couple years ago.
How good are they?
They're starting to rip now. So
Really?
Yeah, I think it rocks. So I gotta start getting.
Really?
Yeah, I gotta start getting. I wear those things at least 3 times.
I wear my Lulu's shorts every week,
Really?
probably 5 times a day, and they're nothing.
To
No
work out?
wear and tear.
To
Yeah,
work out?
everything.
Really?
Yep, my favorite shorts.
I was playing football for a long time, obviously.
That was good.
So yeah, I gotta figure out what's the next for the shorts, but yeah, I'm gonna do that. I didn't spend any money this week on it. What I did spend money on was the Coors Lights you see on the table.
Yeah, about beer. For being honest.
That's about it. You know what? I think I'm at the point now in the COVID thing where I'm just trying to not get too far ahead of myself, because the first like 7-8 weeks of this thing, man, looking back at like my credit card statement, every fucking week.
How do you turn into like an alcoholic?
Beers,
Oh, just
vodka.
drinking a lot, yeah.
Oh man, I was drinking. Jordan, for like as a point of reference, before this thing started, I never drank unless it was a Friday or Saturday.
Right.
Never. Not even a sip on a Thursday or Wednesday.
But you're also going into work.
Going to work, going to the gym, doing all that
Right.
stuff, right? And
Now you're
so
home all
now-
day.
Dude, the gym going away really fucking.
Fuck, it
You know, I'm like, what
sucks.
do? I get home from work, I go for a run. That only
Yeah.
takes 20 minutes,
That's
30
right.
minutes, and
That's
I'm
right.
just like hanging out. I'm like,
I was saying to your sister last week that one of the things I've noticed about working out at home is you get a good workout in. The days you get the best workout in, the next step in that process, as far as like your chemical reaction to working out, puts you in a good mood. When you're in a good mood, what's the next step?
beers.
Have a fucking beer,
Yeah,
right?
Earned it.
And like this is
Earned
it.
it.
It's a problem. So I've been trying to fight that, which I've done a pretty good job. This makes me sound like an alcoholic. I'm fighting off the urge to drink beer, but this week I did a pretty good job with that. I didn't have any beers until today. Actually, I had a Miller Lite yesterday at my dad's house when we were over there for dinner.
Is that a beer?
Yeah. So you know, like the thing
It's a
about
beer, the MLB.
it fucking sucks. It fucking sucks not being able to go to the gym. It fucking sucks not being able to like go see your buddies and like do all these things. Even go to work. Like you don't realize how much
Everything's changed.
it just gives you structure.
Yeah.
Is the thing,
Yeah.
right? It gives you structure, and when you don't have structure, you bend and like kind of become, you know, more malleable than you want to be with your day-to-day habits.
You're in a different spot because you're like, you and Kenzie are both working from home.
Mhm.
Jor and I aren't. I was off, so it was different. But now I'm back to work. So then we finish work on the Friday or whatever,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, I go home. It's a long week or whatever you want to say.
Right.
And now I'm like, I got nothing to do now. I'm like, I worked all week,
Don't
and
spend your money.
now I worked all week, and now I can't even like go do what I want. Like just go have a couple
You
fucking
can't do anything.
casual
You
beers.
can't do
I can't
anything.
even
You can't
do
go to
it.
the bar. You can't. And you're a single guy.
Mhm.
So like what? You know, like we talked about.
I've
this
been just
before.
going to bed.
That's it.
Going to bed early.
Get
Fuck it.
hyped.
I might as well just like take advantage of this and just like get up, like do exactly what I've always said I should do.
Yeah.
And by the way, like I said, like this, so we can go into this. Like
Let's transition into
the COVID, like I've
COVID
taken
feels,
positives
yeah.
from this shit.
Yeah.
Honest to God, like I've said for like the longest time, I've been sitting at 210 pounds consistently for probably 7 years.
You've been about the same weight ever since I met you.
Ever since, like
Yeah.
nothing gained, nothing less. If I fluctuate my water weight throughout the day, like
Yeah,
every,
yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
your basic shit.
7 or 10 pounds.
I just weighed myself today, 192.
Wow.
That's
Like
crazy.
almost 20 pounds. And I've been saying I wanted to
Right.
get down to 190 for so long, and I didn't have the discipline to actually do it. Because it's not easy to drop weight, like especially if we're all pretty lean, like losing
When you're
weight.
going to the gym all the time, you just gaining muscle, right?
It's
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's that.
yeah.
But it's also like you go out. If you go out on a Saturday night,
Right.
that Sunday, what are you doing? You having eggs?
Resting.
You having eggs?
No,
Fuck
you're
no. You're
sleeping.
having right wingers and
Pizza,
sleeping,
pizza for
that's right.
breakfast, or
Exactly.
getting a sub for lunch, and then I'm ordering
Getting that,
Chinese
getting
for
that bag
dinner.
of chips you didn't finish the night before.
Yeah.
with the flight.
Saturday when you were drinking, you're having a
Crazy.
pizza.
That's it. That's it. Never stops.
Yeah.
Never
So yeah, I was
stops.
just like maintaining, like I'm working hard during the week, but it's just a steady, just baseline.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
staying the same. I feel great on Friday, and then Sunday I get a fucking like a bloated
Gut
gut.
rot.
I'm like, oh
Gut
fuck, I'm fat again. It just stays the same. Then this COVID, I just been starting running. I haven't been lifting weights, so my injuries are healing. Like we were talking about, like my shoulder, everything feels good
You
now.
and me both, man. Yeah.
Different shit. So it's like I do feel a lot better. Like going through, like unfortunately it took a fucking pandemic to do it, but like I don't care.
How do
I'll
you
take
feel?
it.
You don't work out that much, eh?
I don't work out ever.
So you're just like.
But at work, like I'm lifting
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
8,000
got a
9,000
you got a
kilograms a night.
Physical job, eh?
Right.
Okay.
All night long,
Yeah.
running
That's unloading
back and
trucks.
forth, back and
Okay.
forth,
Okay.
right? So, and my work hasn't slowed down for a second.
So do you think that you're healthier now that you can't do the other stuff that was kind of like not holding you back, but like the stuff that was detrimental to your health. Stuff like drinking at the Collins. Like I can't count. I would need 1 trillion feet in hands to count on my fingers and toes the number of times I've seen you guys mash at the Collins on Friday night, especially in the summertime.
Forget how it's affecting you physically, like financially. It's been great.
Yeah. Like if we hang out for one night, it might be a Saturday. We'll go golfing, and then we'll just drink. But you're drinking at home, rather than at the bar. Yeah. You're saving so much money.
You're saving a lot of money for sure.
It goes from like a $300 night to like a fucking $80
what about your car insurance? Like, are you paying your car insurance still?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Because you get a break on your car insurance.
Yeah.
All this. Yeah. Like I know we got.
But then you have to pay it back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then why would I stop paying it?
Mike's mom's on. She's trying not to be on camera. It's alright, Cindy. Don't worry about it.
Right, why would I stop?
Sorry.
Why would I stop paying it? If it's just if I'm gonna have to pay it later.
Well, we got a break on ours, so they gave you back $80 for the first 2 months of COVID because you're not driving as much, right? Even if you're still working.
I didn't get a break.
You gotta ask. They don't just give it to you. You gotta ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, right?
She's collecting. Well, my mom, I pay like my mom does the insurance, and I just give her the money,
sure.
which is kind of nice.
So is your mom still? Are you still charging him full run for the insurance?
Yeah, of course.
But did you get the discount? You did, but you're still charging him.
I did.
Interesting.
for late fees.
Shylock.
Sometimes I couldn't make it.
I didn't realize your mom was hoarding shekels.
So there's interest. You can have it. It's fine. I don't need it. I understand.
Well, there's been some other good stuff coming out of COVID. Like I was saying to Ken the other night that all the stuff we talked about in terms of like dieting and all that. Mind you, again, she would be here normally, but she's out buying a dress or bought a wedding dress earlier. She's been trying to lose weight around her midsection for the last I don't know.
The easiest part to lose it.
Yeah, right, exactly. And she's been trying to lose that for a long time. Only in the last month or so, where she's been basically like doing workouts every day plus running.
Right.
3, 4, 5K a day.
Dude, she's been killing it.
Where before when you were going to work,
losing it, right? And I told her, I'm like, there's only one more thing you gotta do, and it's you gotta go full indication. Like it's gotta be eggs and meat 5 days a week, and that's it. No fat, no carbs, no nothing.
You got fat. You need fat.
And she was eggs and meat. Eggs and meat's fat. You get some fat in meat for sure. Ground beef and eggs. Why not?
I'm just saying because she said you guys aren't eating after 7.
Try not to eat after 8.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I said, what I do when I'm doing that, I just have a spoonful of peanut butter if I need something.
She's been doing that.
And it's not the best, but it's something. It makes it easy to go to sleep.
Better than Tostitos.
Well, yeah, exactly. A spoonful of peanut butter. It's just like
bars.
It's like what I say is it sticks to your ribs. Yeah. I guess. Like
there's a certain protein that does that. I don't know if peanut butter is that protein, but
I don't know. But it works for me. It's like it's that, and then like a glass of milk. And I've also heard like a glass of milk before, but I know a lot of people aren't really down. But a lot of people aren't really down with like milk, cow milk. Like I've had people argue with me about it. I'm like, look, bitch, I will fucking have a glass of milk and I will be fine.
You're not talking about women there, just people who argue about milk.
There's fucking whatever you want to call it, pussies.
So, okay, I'll be testing my energy skills on this episode. Maybe the thing I would say is that
not yet.
People always say the same thing about milk, right? They say, well, we're the only animals that drink milk, and so we shouldn't be doing it. And I always say the same thing to these people. Like,
milk from another animal.
Yeah, but we're also the only people that have DVD players and couches. Doesn't
right.
People
kick ass.
It's crazy, right? We can't get rid of everything we do just because we figured it out. Protein's great for you. And I work in a community of guys who are pretty smart. There are a lot of peer-reviewed scientists, guys who have published journals, PhDs, best and brightest type guys. And they all say the same thing. If you want to get strong and be healthy, the thing you should do is be drinking whole fat milk, eating whole fat meat. Anytime you reduce some fat, you're just adding sugar.
It's the main thing.
People don't realize this, right?
Sugar.
They don't realize it. And I'll talk about this briefly. This is not on the sheet, but did you see that hydroxychloroquine study thing?
What I did? What is that?
So
I saw
Trump got up in front of a crowd like he usually does and said something stupid at the time about hydroxychloroquine. It's a malaria drug, and I think it's also used for lupus or something like that. It's basically like an antiviral. It's like a blanket antiviral drug. It's pretty cheap, generic, very easy to get. It's used in the third world quite a bit. And he said this is something that we're going to use for COVID. It does well with COVID. And the Lancet, which is a 200-year-old medical journal, established an understatement for these guys. These guys got roots deeper than any journal or publication you know. And they put out a study saying that Trump is wrong. This drug will hurt you if you're on COVID. And
who's this?
Lancet. Lancet is the name of the journal. LANCET.
But are they just anti-Trump or are they?
They've been around for 200 years.
So they're reputable.
Well, we'll get to that.
Reputable.
And yeah, reputable.
Well.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it.
Is it nuclear or nuclear?
So these guys put out a study and they say like we've done a lot of research and we found the drug is at the very least harmful, but in the worst case scenario it could actually make it worse for you in terms of like your mortality with the drug or with the disease COVID-19. And so a couple of guys on Twitter see this study and they go, you know what? Don't think that's true. There's a lot of evidence that says this is not true. Long story short, basically to give you an idea of what kind of research the Lancet did to figure this out, if you go to the website where some of the data was collected and look back in the Google Time Machine, you know what the Time Machine is?
No.
This thing that shows you what websites were 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
A couple weeks back it was some kind of cryptocurrency scam website. And the Lancet got all their data from this website that, not only... You put them right there.
ASMR.
That's great.
I love it.
Jordan Owens.
What is ASMR? I see that all the time. What's it mean?
It's supposed to put you to sleep or like give you goosebumps. So these guys put out a study and it's fucking... All the data is bogus. And, I've been on this train for a while. I've been on this train for a while with the Lancet before this started. I think on this podcast I said it. I've definitely said it on Twitter, my Twitter feed at Joey Tweets with 3 D's in the tweets. I've definitely said it before. The thing I always say is like, if you just ask one question, you will find something that you were not expecting to see. You know what else the Lancet publishes on a regular basis? The food pyramid or like the food wheel now. All
it's a wheel.
Carbs,
It's a wheel
all
now.
grains. It's fucking garbage.
See,
and people just like eat it up, no pun intended, but they devour that stuff, right? And they just like don't think twice about it.
200 years of credibility.
Well, no,
but like, do they really have 200? They got 200 years of publications.
Yeah,
but like, are we gonna go back and
that's
see?
The thing.
What else they've been pushing out?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Trump is some kind of genius doctor, but the hydroxychloroquine thing, that's an important study for like the cultural moment we're in. And also because this is a global thing. It's not just something that's affecting the third world.
Do you think that Trump is going on to a global stage and just speaking out of his ass? There's a difference between Trump going in front of a podium than Trump sending out a tweet. There's a big difference.
Do you think somebody told him that this was going to be bogus? Like he knew before he said it that this was something they were going to use, and he just didn't care what everyone said, what the journals said, what all these guys said. He just
maybe, but like he's not going to go on a. He can't go on a podium and then just be like.
I don't know.
He can't. No, there's no way that like it's not like he's the president of the United States.
Yes.
But it's not just him. As a one person.
No, it's not.
There is a massive team, especially when he's going on television, like I said, in front of on a podium.
If things don't work out,
and addressing a subject.
My other wife is actually part of his team, Katie McEnany.
Oh, that smoke show that he brought
in. She just got the dress today, so.
No, the fact that she's a smoke show is irrelevant. She is a sharp. She is sharp.
Oh, yeah,
she is like I really like her.
She comes prepared, man, for sure.
And like I'm just saying, like he's not just going in and just being like, you know what I think about diet, because he's just so pleasing to look at.
He just dummies Diet Cokes, man.
He doesn't give a fuck. He's like John Daly when he's the president.
His best tweet, Trump's best tweet is from
2012
or 2011. It says, "I've never seen a thin person drinking a diet soda." It's an incredible tweet.
It's perfect.
It applies to him.
But I respect the transparency.
It's incredible tweet.
I respect the transparency. Like a lot of people hate him, understandably so.
Mm-hmm.
Understandably so. Like you definitely have to be. You got to look past.
He's not likable.
Exactly.
Like, that's not what
exactly. It's just like a lot of people hate him, and I get it. I completely get it. I don't like him either. But like he's fucking like he's makes good points.
He's got a good team around him.
That's the thing. Like every time I've been in an argument, every single time I've been in an argument, if I get bested, I'll be like, you got me. Like that's a great point.
Yeah.
A lot of people, even if he makes a good point, like, oh fuck you, and they'll just look at other shit he says, which is like, it's fair to do, I guess.
You can,
but like, you can't just be like, if he's talking about dietary anything, and then they just talk, oh, he's racist. It's like, yeah, but that's irrelevant in this particular point in time.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's like they just use every hateful point that he brings up, and then they just go. And they just completely derail what he's trying.
They have plenty of ammo for that, right?
Of course they do, which is like, okay, but like the fact that he's doing that, like he's saying the thing about Diet Coke.
Yeah.
And that's it. But like he addresses it, and he still does it himself, I'm okay with that. If I have an issue like right now, I am having a smoke.
You are having a cigarette. It's on camera.
And
1080p.
I just had one with you.
And the thing is, I don't like it. You think I'm ever gonna fucking
have one because it was on camera? You guys are like, we'll just wait till we finish.
I don't think I said that. I'm just saying. You think I'm ever gonna be like, hey everybody, you guys should all smoke cigarettes. They're great for it. You know what I'm saying? Like they're fucking awful. It's proven they're fucking
one of the
brutal.
worst things ever.
You think I ever?
They got the pictures of the gums just rotting away.
You think I ever have a smoke and I'm just like, yeah, this is good for me. I'm like every cigarette I have, I'm like, this. I need to know.
Barb Tarbox. That's her name. Tarbox.
Yeah.
Died at age 42.
See, this is what I mean. Like Barb.
Well, she was
her last name is Tarbox.
She was destined. Like, that's fate.
Good luck to her.
It wasn't a strong outlook.
Like I'm just saying, like Trump's not a likable guy, but man, like you can't. It's unfair. Not like it's unfair as like a whole to discredit what he says just based because you don't like him for whatever reason.
I like this. I like that you're coming around to this.
I've never been opposed to this.
But you're expressing it now. I think for the first time in a public forum.
I'm not pro Trump. I'm just whatever. I'm completely neutral.
You're a MAGA head.
Yeah. Where's my red hat? Like I'm not for him, but I'm not like. I think you have to approach everything with an open mind. You have to look at what he brings to the table, what's positive, what's not. I could look at the negatives. There's way more. The negatives outweigh the positives. But
which
the positives
mic
are there.
are you? You mic 3?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Talk to your mic.
Am I off?
No, you're on. Talk to your mic.
I'm number 1.
We're doing this now?
Yeah, well, we'll just do it as we go. This is a live show. Like, what do you mean?
True.
You know what I mean? This is not...
we don't have technical difficulties.
Exactly. Like, I'm not a fucking...
What's
pro.
that?
I haven't done this
We got Joey, the apprentice audio engineer.
Yeah, like, I haven't done this in a long time. So
but,
give me a break.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, the thing that pisses me off about, because he's looking at, Trump as a person, he's looked at by the masses, not by, like, the whole world.
Yeah.
So... everyone's going to look at him. Most people are going to hate him.
Yeah.
Most people are going to hate him.
Yeah.
But
clearly not most.
No,
He lost the popular vote.
Right.
So everyone basically outside of New York and California doesn't like the guy. But I mean, personally, like, as a candidate, he's a force, man.
Who's better?
It's just the race. It's mostly just the race thing.
Yeah.
Well,
comes back to the race thing.
Yeah, of course, but it's bad that he's the number one guy. That's the problem. That's the issue.
I agree.
It's not him. It's not like I'm pro him. It's just like who the fuck is better, which is pathetic.
Also, I kind of half think the Democrats think the same thing, like running Biden, who just like gaffe after gaffe after gaffe. The Young Turks, a YouTube channel for, I would say it's like not far left, but it's like pretty left leaning. They're one of their hosts, Anna Kasparian, did a segment a little while ago where she basically like not had a breakdown but went off script and was like, we can't keep pretending that this guy's not falling apart right in front of us, and if we keep pretending we're going to lose another 4 years to Orange Man bad. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, and you look when he won,
I know
he was going against Hillary Clinton, which in her defense, like not even in her defense, like
that's a political machine.
The heart, yes,
yeah,
but she's carrying on the traditional presidency.
Yeah.
The only difference, like her edge, was I'm the first female president.
Yeah.
And then everybody looked at it like, oh, like we got to vote for her because it's progressive. It's like, no, you're voting for the same shit that's been happening, but she's just a female.
Don't forget, Time Magazine ran a cover with her on the front and the text on the bottom was Madam President. And SNL, was doing their debate sketches with her and Trump, and they were calling her President Clinton in the debate sketches. And like these guys all just had to fucking eat their feet, on November 17th. I think rightfully so. You shouldn't assume these things. I don't want to get too far into the weeds on politics here.
We're pretty deep. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're about half an hour in. I was gonna like pause it for an ad, but we can't really do the ads. So I don't know how to cut the video yet for ads in the middle. So you have to keep listening to the Shake Pay ad in the front and Mike's anchor read in the front.
You haven't heard about it.
What are we gonna talk about next? We got a couple options here on this sheet that I just made a couple minutes ago.
Wait! I just have one more thing to say.
Keep going.
So I would just say, I'm not very politically.
You're not inclined.
No,
that way.
It's not inclined, and I'm also very uneducated. I just look at the situation and I get.
Where do you get your news from?
The internet, whatever. Where it's pretty. It's not. I'm not diving deep on it. So I'm surface. I'm surface level, which is not fair. But that's my news, and I choose not to go deep on it. That's my own opinion.
That's what Will said a couple weeks ago. He's as informed as he wants to be.
Same here, and I'm the exact same way. Will's just a little bit more articulate than me. He can put it into fucking words. But anyway, I'm just saying. So if you were to look at say it wasn't Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Just say for example's sake, if it was Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
Running against Trump, I think we
Mm-hmm.
would have the first black female president. I think.
Without a doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Without a doubt.
The fact, like, it just sucks for the female movement because I know they're fighting all oppression and all this shit.
For sure.
If it just sucks that their front runner sucked.
Yeah.
She fucking sucked. She pushed the wrong agenda, warmongering, this and that. Her edge was she was a female.
Yeah.
They had the wrong front runner.
I think one of the things that benefited Trump in that campaign
was that it was Hillary.
It was that, but also I think people had never seen that act before, right? Where on the debate stage, I've watched a lot of political debates in my time. In Canada, for example, we had an election 2 years ago.
That's like your shit.
I love it. I've made every girl I've ever been with has been made to watch a presidential debate at some point, and your sister is no different, and she'll be no different for the rest of her life.
Yeah, but Kenzie's like malleable in this sense.
She hates it.
She's gonna develop opinions though.
She had to walk out during one of the Trump ones. And I don't blame her. Trump. In Canada,
Trump's a fucking idiot.
In Canada, for example, we had the 4 or 5 leaders. We got the Liberals, Conservatives, Greens, NDP, and the Bloc. So 5 on the stage.
What about Rhino?
Rhino doesn't get a seat. And so these guys are all behind podiums, right? And they're not kind of walking around the stage free. This is what you typically expect in a debate in Canada or the U.S. See the same thing in both sides. When Trump and Clinton debated as presidential nominees for their parties, Trump didn't stay behind the podium. He was like walking behind her on camera and stuff, right? And
talking shit, chirping her.
That's right. I don't know if his team had him do that or he just decided it was a good idea.
I don't think I think that was a Trump move.
But he would say stuff like,
You've been entertaining.
He's like, she would say stuff like, if I was the president,
she'd be in jail.
Yeah, I wouldn't do this kind of thing. And Trump would chime in behind her like, it's because you'd be in jail. And the crowd would love it.
That's the thing.
Freak out.
He's an entertainer, and not just that exposed politics on a major level.
Do you think in the long run that American politics, and I guess like first world politics, European here, whatever, is going to be better off because Trump ran and won? It's going to open the door to a lot of people who may be not political, but also not so much of a showman / buffoon as this guy. Like everyone always says the same thing, right?
It definitely changed.
If you had to bet, if you had to bet your life, gun to your head, is The Rock ever going to be the president? Like, would you really bet no?
No.
I think most
if he
people
ran,
would
he would
yes,
win.
right?
He would win.
I think most people would yes. I don't know if they would have done that before Trump, but I think now most people would say, like, if he runs, or Rogan, we talked about Rogan on the show before. I don't know if you heard that episode. We talked about Rogan running for president. Like, Rogan would not even have to go to a debate. He could have the other candidates on his show, and that would be all the exposure he needed. He could play by his rules the entire way through. He'd never have to get on CNN or Fox.
I want to say majority of his fan base want him to run.
I think he should.
He doesn't want to.
I know he doesn't.
Which is fucking great. That's why.
I think he should just to see what.
Yeah, but he's not Trump. Trump wanted. I don't
want him to run because I want President Rogan. I want him to run because I want people to realize that you don't have to kowtow to these networks who just push. It's basically, my dad described it yesterday as it's when you watch CNN or Fox or NBC, you're not watching news. You're watching National Enquirer with video and picture behind it. It's all just garbage nonsense, and they assume that you just don't ask any questions or realize. And he's right. I've always thought that. What else? Without going into too much details on the politics here, what else? We're doing the first podcast for a while now without Zoom.
I was just gonna say, feels great. Good, right? Feels great.
So this is your first appearance on the podcast.
Yeah.
So
first physical appearance. He's been on the show. He's a caller.
Somewhere in the 20s, early 20s, he called in. So we're all together now. Mike, you and I have seen each other a bunch since the quarantine started. This is the first time I've seen you.
Yeah.
So
it's fantastic.
What do you think about the direction COVID's going? First of all, and second of all, are you worried to be here? Like, who have you seen since you've started the quarantine?
I went golfing with him last weekend. A couple other buddies. The weekend before we hung out. I haven't really felt worried at all. I've been, like I said, nothing really has changed for me other than going out to the bar.
But
all
you're
that
still
kind of
going
stuff.
to work every day.
Going to work every day, seeing the same people that I see. They're wearing masks because I'm going into the customers, right? They're wearing masks, but other than that, everything seems to be the same.
You brought a mask, right?
Yeah, I brought that as a joke though. I see all these customers.
Name on this?
I don't know. I just got it from my work, right?
Tough Duck.
they're giving it out because some customers, when we go in, we have to wear the mask.
Yeah, it's required by
all
their,
it is, right?
We
got to sign in to say that we were there, and so it's like it's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but life really hasn't changed other than just going out and drinking.
Yeah.
On the weekends, right?
Yeah, that's it.
I think
but it's good to see you guys, and I'm happy that you're not worried. You came over, fist bumped right away, and I don't see any problem with it.
I think
fist bump's different than an handshake.
If I felt like I was sick, I wouldn't be here.
I think like we were looking at the numbers over at 617 the other night, Medical Journal 617 Medical Journal there.
Leaving Mike's mom tonight said there's 700 cases. In Hamilton.
700 in Hamilton.
Out of 600,000 people.
How many of them are people over 80?
Right.
It's really high.
Retirement homes.
Really high.
Retirement homes.
I don't love saying that because I know there's something to be said about like, are we spreading it to other people? Like we may not get symptoms, knock on wood, but are we spreading it to other people? I don't know. I'm not going to hospitals. I'm certainly not going to like shopping centers and stuff. And I'm still, even with my dad yesterday, I was trying not to like, touch him or breathe on them or anything.
You're not going to be an idiot about it, but it's just like
exactly.
At the same time, you're not like I'm not feeling overly feared about
it. You gotta hold
right?
the mic to your mouth.
Yeah, well, it's the same shit, man.
You don't have to worry about breathing on the mic. You're not worried about bumping fists. But you're worried about breathing on the mic.
That's a bit. What did I say? Yeah, exactly. No, I've had this attitude since it started. I've been pretty just like basically I'm just like fuck this.
Your life only changed really for like what 3 weeks.
Just because I wasn't working.
That's it.
I wasn't working.
It's all just about not trying to get old people sick. Right?
That's it.
Your parents and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all about your parents.
That's what I care about.
And the same here. And like I said, if you are gung ho about it, I'll respect that. I'll give you your space. No problem. No problem. I understand. I'm not gonna fucking give you a hard time if you're fucking scared. I understand. Right. It's shitty, but like I don't know, man. It's. I've maintained the same attitude about it. I respect the guidelines. Like we've been hanging out, but but we've been hanging out within the guidelines. That's the whole thing.
First little while, we were coming here with him, the dog, to run him, and we weren't going inside. We were staying apart from each other in the yard.
We all respected it, and we still are. We still are. We were hanging out, but like every time I've hung out with people, it's been in like a group of 5.
Yeah.
Like it's not been like I got invited to a party. There was like 30 people there. I'm like, I'm not going to that.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel right morally about it. I'm like, I don't want to go like hang out with 30 fucking people.
That's right.
We went to one place where it probably wouldn't have been. It wasn't the best place to go at the poker tournament.
Oh right, yeah, but there was like 10 people.
10 people, right?
It's not that bad.
Right, it's not that bad.
There's something to be said for like the exposure groups. We talked about this at work too. Like I'm part of the team that's coming up with their return to work plan, and we talked about like exposure groups and trying to protect. Like, for example, okay, if I work on the main floor and you work on the basement level and you work on the second floor, like we would try to protect.
It's because I'm blue collar, belong in the basement.
Your floor though, and all that. Is that what you mean?
Well, kind
of. This is by the way, this is the 2 blues and a white.
Yeah, I know. Fuck, I'm the odd man out here. I would just say that like. If you work on the second floor, right? Let's say you're in the the top floor of the building.
George's a truck driver.
You have exposure to all those people on the second floor every day, right? If you got 5 people in the building or whatever, you come in with limited staff. So let's say the 3 of us are on the second floor. That means I'm exposed to you guys and whoever you see after work. Right? That's the exposure group.
Yep.
And then the first floor would have their exposure group, and the basement would have their exposure group. The lab would have their exposure group. So one of the things we've considered is like, do we want to keep these people separated at any cost? Like you can't use
by the floor sort of thing. Yeah,
that's right. Okay. So that like I'd never, if I was on the second floor and Mike was on the basement level, I would never see Mike's exposure group. I'd never be exposed to Cindy, Jordan, Joey. I'd never be exposed to those people, right? We've had a hard time with that because a lot of people are saying, well, what about traveling between floors for equipment movement? Or
the social distancing doesn't work.
That's the thing with my work
environment. It's going to be really tough.
I go in to grab my trailer from work.
Yeah.
We're not allowed into the warehouse.
Yeah?
I've literally, we have the passes.
Yeah.
I can't get into the warehouse.
They cut your card access, yeah?
They brought in a porta potty sort of thing, a big thing.
Comfort station.
This is what you do too. When you first started on the podcast, you would talk like this. Be like, they brought in a porta potty. No one can fucking hear you.
Either way, right? We're not allowed in there.
You're just lecturing into
That's
space.
just showing he's getting comfortable.
I guess.
That's the thing. George was so stressed out about starting this fucking thing, and I was just like, it's just a conversation.
I thought you weren't going to come back from the beer store.
Honestly, man, when I walked up the driveway, I was literally having like some sort of heart attack. I thought I was going to fall over on the driveway.
Yeah, you're doing fine.
You guys would,
the
girls would come back from the walk, and they'd just be like, "What's wrong with them?"
So what do you
Let's
do?
leave them. Can't touch their COVID.
Passed out on
So
the
what do you?
driveway.
So you're working kind
No,
of.
he's got to get his temperature taken every fucking day.
But you're working kind of half inside, half outside, right? You got your
Mostly
truck.
all
You
outside.
got your truck, and
Yeah.
the only experience I have with GFS is I see them doing the Starbucks on Main West,
Right.
right? Is
Right.
that you guys do that?
Good thing you dropped the job.
But I don't think you go inside, right?
Yeah, we go right inside.
You do go inside.
Yeah.
Even now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got to take the shit
So-
in the restaurant.
Everything needs to go in.
Yeah.
Same.
So you're like half in, half out.
Yeah.
You're all out right now. Are you outside right now?
You just deal with your fellow employees. That's it.
Right now, the job site I'm on, like, coincidentally, is all outside. It's just because of the job site I'm on right now. I don't know what that motion was, but I got it, but it was
You know
it could
damn well what it was.
could have been interpreted differently. But the job site I'm on right now, we're all outside.
Yeah. Okay.
So that kind of worked out. But like there is other job sites that I'm not at that our company's involved with.
Right.
Safety is big. Like they gotta wear a mask
Sure.
all day.
Sure.
And man, I don't know if you guys fucking noticed this because you like you may have Joe or Jor, but like Joe, you've been inside that day with the temperature surges, buddy. Like the first fucking like the one day was like 35 Celsius.
Crazy.
It was fucking hot. Like the mask would have been a detriment.
Yep.
The only thing I've noticed,
People would have been passing out.
You're
bro.
right.
I literally had it on. So our trailers are refrigerated. I literally went into my trailer and I had to sit down
Yeah.
in the trailer because it's refrigerated. And
You
it was
can't
like I
have
thought
it.
I was gonna have a heat stroke.
You're
It
not
was like
fucking
it was
carbon
crazy. I
dioxide
couldn't breathe,
breathing
and then
there.
I just told them I'm like I can't wear the mask any longer.
It's like
They
COVID
were too
aside, I have to
happy
stay
about it, but
alive.
yeah, I couldn't do it.
I have to stay alive. Like I know COVID's is relevant, but like heat stroke is also a thing. Like
There's something to be said for not personal comforts, but there's like everyone is used to a certain way of life, and I think one of the things that we struggle with at work. I don't want to go into the weeds here with my job because I don't want to give too many details.
expose
right?
yourself.
Well, no, like everyone knows I'm a public servant, and the people I work with are really good. They're doing their best, right? I gotta edit that out now. So
I've said it many times.
Fed.
Yeah.
Fed.
Yeah.
You think
You know what he thought you
Could have been
said.
another
Cripes.
word.
Cripes.
So
What fuck?
I don't want to put these guys on blast. They're doing the best they can. I think our lab is doing the best they can, trying to incorporate everyone back. But one of the problems we're having in our building, and I think we can't be alone in this regard, is there are people who are going to be doing blue collar work,
Right.
who are going to be asked to take extra precautions.
Yeah. They're out in the public.
And it's going to be tough. Not even out in the public. They're going to be around each other. But
doesn't
like
work.
like you described, right? If you're lifting stuff all the time and you're working up a sweat, you're working up some heat. When you couple that with what we've kind of been discussing, and we didn't come up with this term. It's a term I saw somewhere else, but we're talking about doing sprints when it comes to the work we're doing. So you go in for 4 hours and you bang out as much as you can on the lab side. You go home and do your data collection and analysis and all that.
That's all right.
It's a good idea.
It's in and out.
But that's going to cause, I think, problems for people. And the other thing I think we're having trouble with, and this is
Older people, yeah.
older people, I think is one thing. And I think that for guys our age, like I have completed on 180. 3 months ago, as Mike knows, I was ringing the alarm bells for this. I'm saying we got to get food.
Buddy, it was like 6 months ago.
No, it's probably in January.
Yeah, you called it. You called a spade. Like I was blissfully ignorant.
I had this pegged as to how
You
serious
did.
we
You
were
did.
going to
You
take
did
it.
call it.
But I didn't. But now
You called it.
But now
wrong.
I think we took it too seriously. And so, without talking about,
That's tough.
without talking about
Can you be too
sort
safe?
of the hero of this moment, George Floyd, too much. One of the things that's going to come from these riots, and of course, Mr. Floyd had no idea this was going to happen, but this may be his greatest contribution when all is said and done.
Oh, definitely.
Let's see what happens.
Well, they're allowing protests.
As they should.
Absolutely.
Let's see what happens with the people protesting. If they don't get sick, and we don't have a huge spike,
Boom.
George
Big events
Floyd
are back.
will have added this to his legacy.
Yep.
Your death,
Dude, that guy's
unjust
a
as it
hero.
was, you're gonna have started this movement toward maybe we shouldn't have shut down the economy. Maybe we can circle back.
Black Lives Matter and COVID.
That's right.
Both of them.
That's
yeah,
right.
It's crazy.
Well, we'll see, right?
Well, the one thing that like we said at the beginning of the podcast, I don't really want to get into it. The one thing that like concerns me is the major media shift off of COVID onto this.
Yeah.
Is like
we can talk about that.
It's crazy.
I don't think that's too dicey to talk about.
Well, it's just like the whole thing. I'm just so fucking terrified because I know I say dumb shit.
Yeah.
So I'm terrified to talk about it on a public platform.
Do you want to see something funny? Oh, my phone's recording the video.
It's all good. All I'm saying is like the thing that concerns me is like
Twitter?
how major the pandemic was, and then this happens, and now all of a sudden COVID is kind of like, it's not that important.
That's right.
It just concerns me about the media, right? Because the media was pushing COVID so hard, and now all of a sudden another like this is another global thing that's happening, and now the COVID's on the back burner, and it's still there, but it's like
I said earlier, I don't know if it's not gone for sure, but
it's not gone, but it's like I said, it's still there.
Like I was in the dealership the other day, just getting my car fixed, and then it was Trudeau was on the screen, not talking anything really about the protests.
He's been trying to steer clear.
Right, it was all COVID, but then when it went back to like the news station going on about it, then it went to the Black Lives Matter,
that's why I'm so concerned.
So this is
still both.
The media is dangerous.
Do you guys know who Jim Acosta is?
No.
Jim Acosta is a guy who works for CNN who came to infamy, at least for me, for putting out a tweet that said the president ignored my question on Russia and ducked the interaction. And the video accompanying that tweet is Trump walking to a running helicopter from about 50 yards away, and this guy yelling from behind a velvet rope a question that he obviously cannot hear because there's a flight craft getting ready to take off. So this guy works for CNN, and Mike, you just mentioned something that I think is worth talking about. The shift from COVID is ridiculous and we have to stay inside and protect each other and protect our elders to we support the protests. To be clear here, one more time, the protests are important. It's an important moment in history.
They're unbelievably justified.
Have to
Unbelievably
support
justified.
them. My beef is with the way the press is covering it. So Acosta
I don't like it.
tweets this picture, okay? So the picture, I'll show it to the camera in a second, but this is the White House lawn. And so what do you notice about this photo?
6 feet.
This is the press photo, right? So the camera captures the chairs for the press corps about 6 feet away from each other. And Acosta's tweet is, the news conference was initially set up for social distancing. Then the White House rearranged the chairs. Before and after pics from our something. I can't read the rest of the tweet. So here's the way the press conference carried itself.
Oh wow!
Right, they're very close to each other. So
they gave right into it.
So let me ask you a question, okay? If you're someone who consumes media and puts value in the things these people say about anything in the news really, what is your opinion on this network basically supporting the 50,000 people in some cities or 40,000 people in some cities who are protesting and fighting for their cause without mentioning COVID, and then the press corps gathering, the only thing he talks about is how the chairs are not far enough apart. This is a problem.
Disregarding.
Right? This is a problem.
Yeah,
right?
It's great.
And so this is I think one of the bigger problems.
It's a cop out.
My question is, how is it possible that the three of us sitting around this table, crushing smokes and beers, can have a conversation about this?
Want one?
But I haven't had a cigarette in probably since last summer.
Good for you.
Yeah, I was gonna call you out on that.
I'm about 320 days cigarette free. Yeah, I go about 360 days at a time. So what is the gap between us at this table talking about this? I mean, obviously we have our own platform to shoot the shit about it, but what is the gap between what we're saying here and what regular people are seeing at home? How is it possible that people are not seeing this problem from their couch? How is it possible? Because this is on the news all the time,
because
right?
the mass people
and
are idiots.
Acosta has close to 2 million followers.
Yeah.
Right. He's got a lot of people following him. He's a darling of the left, as far as I can tell. I've never heard anyone tell me otherwise. I think he's a bit of a clown, but that's my own opinion.
That's allowed. That's allowed. It's allowed within this circle. But it's not allowed on on a major level. You're not allowed to have an opinion, that annoys me. Like a public stage of argument.
Well, I'll say this right now. LeBron James, right? He came out the other day.
Yeah.
2 or 3 years ago, he came out saying something,
and then
the lady, the news reporter,
Laura Ingraham from
Fox said, "Shut up and dribble." And then Drew Brees the other day said, I'm not gonna follow anyone.
Jordan coming in big here.
Anyone who's gonna.
And what did she say?
Who's gonna disrespect the flag?
And what did she say?
And then she comes out. Well, he's entitled to his opinion.
Fucking right, she said that.
So
that's right. That's
so
another
he's
example.
allowed his opinion
Hypocrisy. That's hypocrisy. That's complete hypocrisy.
Something that benefits her versus something that doesn't.
That's exactly right. These guys are all pushing their own narrative, right? Don't you think?
Yeah. And I was watching First Take today, and it wasn't about racism as much.
Who's on First Take now? Stephen A. and
Max Kellerman, yeah.
Okay.
But it wasn't even that much that they thought that it was about racism. It was just the fact that I don't even know what it was. It was really ridiculous.
So we should say for the listening public and viewing public, Stephen A. Smith is a
animated.
He's animated, but he's also
fucking animated. I'll tell you that.
He's notoriously outspoken about racial issues. He's a black man in his 50s. He's been notoriously outspoken. ESPN has a few very, very, very articulate black commentators that always do a good job. Stephen A. is one. Wilbon's another, and there's more.
Stephen A. Smith, I will give him credit.
There's more that I'm missing.
The two of them, though.
Stephen A. Smith comes into the sport that I know more about than both of you guys in MMA.
He does?
Yeah, well, no, he is.
He was a big boxing.
ESPN. He comes on ESPN. ESPN now owns, or they're partners with UFC, whatever.
Got it.
So they got him coming in. Stephen A. Smith doesn't know shit about MMA.
Right.
He knows sports. He knows athletics. He doesn't know MMAs. What he doesn't understand.
He knows a bit.
He's a talking.
He knows a bit.
Right?
So that's the thing.
Yeah.
What I respect about him, he comes out of his comfort zone, and it doesn't seem like he's out of his comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
But like the real MMA heads are like, this guy's a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Well, even Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman knows a lot about
Kellerman.
MMA.
I've heard. I haven't watched live First Take, but I've heard Kellerman gives it to him a little bit on First Take.
Well,
but that's
it's a show about debating.
That's
right?
their shtick.
Like, they sort of have to take different.
That's the thing. So look, I respect Stephen A. Smith coming in and saying what he's saying. He's saying what he says is controversial opinions every fucking time.
Yeah.
He's saying shit, and it like honestly, to his credit, like he's saying some shit, and everyone's like, he's an idiot, and then. Later, it comes out that the fighter's like, "Oh, Donald Cerrone, he didn't show up to that fight. Donald Cerrone admitted it." So it's like, it was like
he's got good sources, right?
He does, but like at the same, he's not afraid to say something controversial, which I respect him for, and I respect him for coming out of his comfort zone and talking about shit. So, basketball, and football, I would imagine he knows. He's actually
doesn't do football. Does a lot of basketball.
So
he has his opinions. I don't always agree with them, but he has a lot of.
But that's his whole thing.
Right.
And like not everyone's going to agree, but everyone's going to watch him.
Football and basketball.
Do you think? So you guys, I mean, you guys both follow sports, different sports, I take it, but.
You guys are like mainstream sports.
Sport head.
Well,
you are, yeah. I follow underground.
Let me ask you guys: do you seek out opinions that kind of fly against what you're used to seeing? Like I know.
I like hearing it for sure.
It's a different perspective. It's a great perspective.
Exactly.
Right.
If you,
I like to hear the reasoning.
Yeah.
You might not agree with every point, but there's a couple points every time that you'll definitely agree with.
Yeah.
And it's fuel for a good conversation.
That's right. Yeah.
And if you're one of those idiots, and you can bring it back to politics if you want, you can listen to what Trump says. You can listen to what Stephen A. Smith says and disagree. If you decide to dismiss what he says because you don't agree with it, you're a piece of shit. You have to listen to what these people say.
You're part of the
sports,
problem, right?
politics, whatever. You have to listen. That's how humans became conversational.
Well, that's what makes that show good.
You're right.
They're debating about it, right?
Yeah,
that's right. And controversy is important.
People on Twitter have been largely supportive of Killer Mike's.
That was a great speech.
About George Floyd.
Great speech.
I've seen
he fucking killed it.
The only thing I've seen that I don't really know what to think about it. The shirt he wore, the "Kill Your Master" shirt. I don't know enough about that shirt. There's probably some other connotation there that I'm missing. But
you got to understand, you have a different perspective.
Absolutely.
As a privileged white male, as they would say,
right? The speech was that guy. I can't think of a time where I saw that guy speak in public where he was not good. I've seen him at Oshiaga a
Killer
couple
Mike
times with
is
Run the Jewels.
like,
Always
Killer Mike
good.
is no
Always
joke.
good.
That guy,
This guy's out there in the front of a
bloody
national crisis,
man.
delivering better, better communications, better talking points than politicians and media.
Yeah,
people.
man. Like
How's that possible?
Because he's fucking paying attention.
He's just honest. Eh?
He's giving his raw feelings. We're there a lot of the time
so
doing
rare.
whatever the network wants.
So rare.
Right.
What you just said, Jor. Like, it's so rare. It
all
doesn't
about the
happen.
networks.
Doesn't happen. And the thing, man,
Jordan's filling his resume out for a second appearance on the show. Filling it out.
He was so nervous.
I was
Can't
so
believe it.
quiet for the first probably 30 minutes.
Oh, half
What
an
did I
hour.
tell
yeah,
you? What
didn't
did I
say
tell
much.
you?
Your mic levels were always at 0 for about 30 minutes.
What did I tell you? This is the thing, man. Like, Killer Mike, I watched that speech.
Wrap this up.
I watched that speech, man. I don't agree. I don't know if I don't. It's not that I don't agree. I don't even know how I feel about what he chose to wear. Those guys are in a fucking crazy position right now.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
Like they have to. I couldn't even comprehend.
He needs
what's
the
going
ear.
through
He
their-
needs the ear of as many people as he can get.
Yeah.
right?
So whatever he decides to wear,
Yeah.
whatever he decides to say, he has the right to do whatever the fuck he wants right now.
That's for sure.
And he was
yeah.
given a public platform, and he fucking killed it.
He did
I
kill
watched
it.
that
It was
whole
about 8
speech.
minutes. About 8 minutes.
Buddy,
Right?
I watched the whole
Yeah.
fucking speech. I felt
Really good.
everything he said. Like, you couldn't have had a better person saying that shit. Like, I
Really
don't know what Killer Mike. What I know about Killer Mike is that fucking verse he did in "The Whole World" by Outkast.
Yeah.
That's how I know Killer Mike. I'm a hip hop head, but I and he killed it. And he killed
Is that
it.
Whole World?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, no. That's how I know Killer Mike.
That's a great song.
But now I know him from that speech.
Right.
Right, so
Yeah.
I'm like, man, that guy fucking.
Different-
That was the right guy.
Different times, man. These are things.
Crazy.
Shit's
Shit's going down.
As I advance in age, I think sometimes about the things I'll talk to my kids about, and this is going to be for sure one of them. This has been a crazy 5 or 6 months.
Man,
Crazy 5 or 6
this
months.
is going to go down in the history
2020
books. This
is-
is going to go down in the history books.
It's
It's
been
been
wild.
said.
It's been wild.
Dude, this is and I've said this before, like, to put it into perspective, say you were born in the 1910.
Yeah.
So we were born, like, this is the first thing we've had to deal with.
Pretty much.
That's crazy.
9/11. 9/11.
9/11 is in the conversation. That's one thing that I've had this conversation before, and that's one thing I've kind of neglected.
For us, we were definitely a bit younger.
Well, exactly, and that's what I said.
Right.
I'm like,
What year
I
were you guys born?
We
I
would
was
have
in,
been
like,
8
grade
years old.
3.
We would have been 8
I was
years old.
so
I was
young.
like-
I
I was
had
like
no idea.
14.
None of it. Like, I couldn't even comprehend what was going on, so I didn't feel anything. I was like, oh, the building's on fire. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
I didn't either. I was in grade 9. I didn't know
And that's even also still young enough to, like, it doesn't affect you.
You're worried about going out and playing rather than.
That's it, right?
Exactly.
I just remember, the only thing I remember from 9/11 was, like, the day it happened, there was tons of people talking about it, and in period 5, like, 2:20, we finished, like, 2:40 or something like that, 2:20.
240, holy fuck.
They delivered
Bangers out.
Yeah, we started at 8, though.
Oh, yeah.
So
okay.
we finished about 2:40, and
At early age.
one of the things that we did that day was the chaplain, Catholic schools only, came on and gave us a rundown of what happened, and it was like the first time you heard it, like your buddy's been talking about it all day about who's gonna win the war, but the first time you heard like 2 planes, 2 towers, 6,000 people or 5,000 people, you're like, oh fuck, like 5,000 people
And
in America and in New York. For us in Ontario, New York is what, 7 hours away?
It's a hop, skip, and a
It's
jump
close,
away.
right?
but-
Yeah. So
10
like,
hours.
is
Man,
it 10? I thought it was like 7.
Either way, like, I'll be honest with you, like, how young I was, when you say 2 towers, I think of the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
That's how young I was and how ignorant I am, right?
I
Like,
saw that movie in grade like 6.
great movie, but either way, like, one of my favorites, to be honest. One of the movies I used to watch before hockey, I would just watch it because you want to watch the end battle. It gets you fired up.
I've never seen that movie front to
Holy
back.
fucking so
I
good,
fell
bro.
asleep in
Oh
the
my
theater.
god. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm just saying, I was so young, so I was having this conversation, like, recreationally with buddies. Like, we were just having this conversation.
Yeah.
And I was just saying, like, that was a major event, and I dismissed it. This was last weekend, actually. I was having this in a garage. I was having this conversation late night, and I was like, holy fuck. Like, I fucking dismissed 9/11 as a major event.
You
because
forget it.
I just forgot it, because I was so young at the time. And now, what I was saying earlier, like, picture yourself being born in, like, 1910.
Yeah.
Right? You're born in 1910. So, when was World War I? 1918? Is that what it was?
Yeah, 1918, 19,
19
something like
is
that.
it,
No,
whatever.
I think it finished in 1918, right?
Okay, so in the 19 like that
because
in the
there was a war in the
1910s.
20s, right? So
Yeah, after the war.
yeah.
So
yeah.
then, so picture yourself. You're born in 1910. You I don't know. You're
You can't
10
go on your
years.
phone on the podcast.
I'm listening.
Doesn't matter. You come 19 like whatever. You're born in World War One.
Yeah.
A legendary event.
You don't know it's World
You
War
don't know
One
what's
at the
going
time.
on.
You don't know it's World War
Our
One.
World War, my World War One is 9/11.
Yeah.
Right. So now there's World War One
That's
going
right.
on, which is insane.
By the way, not a lot of like media coverage over. Well, you can't see like overseas media coverage.
You
and
can't
stuff,
even
right?
fucking see the
Yeah.
media coverage is
There's no-
fucking here, stand here, like a fucking
There's
blinding
there's
light.
no
A guy
TV.
like
they got a guy extra.
yeah, read all about it. Like here, buy like propaganda is just
Yeah.
fucking everything up, and then after that you got the crash of Wall Street in the
Late 20s,
like
late
1929 or whatever. You
Yeah,
get the crash of Wall Street. You've got fascism coming into play.
in Europe. Yeah.
The revolution.
Yeah.
Like the communist revolution, all
Yeah.
that shit,
Yeah.
which goes into the Great Depression / World War II.
Yeah.
And then after that, you have like the Korean War, the Vietnam, Korea, like all these fucking wars.
Gulf War One.
You know, like all
you
this
about
shit.
50 years there where you have like a couple of 7 or 8 year wars.
So think about your grandparents. The shit, like they didn't have a
Oh,
break.
they've seen it. I know.
They didn't have a
Oh, yeah,
break.
they're
We had it so good. Now what do we got? 9/11 and COVID.
This is why my grandparents. I went to see my grandparents yesterday.
This was nothing.
And we brought over I was trying to get my dad's car keys because he drove his like summer car
Turn that
home.
light on.
And I go over there and I was saying to Kenzie on the way there, I'm like, I don't know when the last time my grandparents saw anybody was. We can't go over and visit them. We got there. What do you think I saw when I got in the backyard?
What's up?
My grandpa sitting on the fucking chair, sleeping, having a good time.
Yeah.
Tomatoes growing.
Yeah.
He's got the city has dug into his and all his neighbors too. They've basically uprooted all the water mains, so they have to close the circuit. They basically hooked water from the street into everyone's hose to make sure they get water from the city still. And I said to him, like, "What's all this?" He goes, "It's a decoration."
It's a decoration.
Like he doesn't care about COVID.
No.
He doesn't give a shit at
No.
all, right?
He was chilling it before.
Doesn't bother him
Yeah.
one bit. And so, he's just happy to see people. And like Mike said, these guys lived through times that we will I hope, knock on wood,
Crazy.
never understand. And,
knock on wood.
Yeah,
Yeah,
knock on wood. Knock
There's
on
definitely
wood, right?
times coming.
Yeah, so, that's these
Well, what? Last year there was going to be the World War III, right? Wasn't that last year?
We had the China escalating tensions with China has been something that people are concerned about and talk about fairly frequently. I don't know if that's a real concern now, but it will be when this thing settles, when the dust settles.
Definitely.
China
They're still
relations
struggling
will be-
right now.
And we
Everything's still happening over there.
We can see the green roots of a major depression coming.
Oh, for sure.
Major,
For sure.
which is so
For sure.
crazy. Like it's man, like
Stock market at all-time highs.
I know,
this
but
week.
like I'm just saying, like I've talked to people, and it's unfortunate because I was one of the guys. I got the CERB, the 2Gs or whatever.
CERB,
The CERB,
not Serbia.
the CERB. Anyway, yeah, the curb. Anyway, I got that, but like my attitude was when I got it and I started working again, I was like, I got to get off this immediately because I want to mitigate the depression that's coming. It's coming, and like
Good for
there's
you. Good for
you
you
have
for
to,
thinking that way.
and I know
A lot of people not thinking that way.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, there's guys I'm working with, like, because I work in construction, and you hear shit. Like, there's guys saying, like, "Oh, I'm still getting it. I'm just
Happy to be off and
banking
getting
my
paid."
hours."
Yeah.
And I'm like, you are a fucking idiot. Do you not understand? Like, you got to bounce off that as fast as you can. If you think you're not going to be paying that back one way or another, you're a complete misfit. Like, you're absolutely out of control. I'm trying to not say the R word. But that's the word I wanted to say in that particular moment. But like, man, like it's coming, and I just wanted to get off and do my part to, at least, like I said, mitigate it, make it as small as possible because it's coming, man. And the stock market's doing great right now because they just took a massive hit, and people are. The difference is like now is information is abundant, so I think the stock market will be okay. But I don't know enough about it.
I had a huge discussion yesterday over dinner, and I subjected your sister to it as well, with my dad and my brother, about what it means to be the reserve currency. and how that affects,
which is the U.S. dollar.
Yeah, how that affects economic policy and fiscal policy and the stuff the Federal Reserve does. We won't get into the weeds here because I want to do the Adidas thing and then we'll wrap it up.
The Adidas thing is trash.
Well, it's alright. We want to hear your fucking stock review. We did Spotify last week. We'll do the Adidas thing this week. The thing about my brother was saying that, this is going to be eventually a war where America is going to lose.
It's looking that way.
And
it's looking that way.
I said to him,
especially with all the shit happening right now.
As far as the economy goes, though, having Donald in there, he might be one of the best guys to be in there for something like this.
You're right.
Maybe.
You're right.
And I think the other thing that everyone, I think, fails to consider, we talk about, as a Bitcoin guy, I hear this all the time, and I agree with some of the points, but others I don't. And one of the things I agree with is, we've seen the fall of currencies probably once every 70 to 100 years-ish. And so the U.S. is coming up on that now as a reserve currency since about World War I, World War II, right in between those. And so
wait, can I ask you, the leader of the free world, essentially is the one who holds the current. What is
this?
This
is the first.
Sorry, what did you say?
The global reserve currency.
So
you know what the reserve currency is? You know what that means?
That means everything is based off the U.S. dollar.
Sort of. It means like back in the day. This is a long time ago, in the 70s or before the 70s, I should say.
I wish I was born in the 70s. It looks like a lot more fun.
Anything pre-71.
Could have bought a house.
Anything pre-71 is pre what's called Bretton Woods, and so Bretton Woods, Bretton Woods is in the 70s, I forget, but there's an agreement basically after World War II that said the U.S. was a reserve currency. So that means that every other currency in the world is pegged to the U.S. dollar. So you can only print a certain amount of Jordan's dollars and Mike's dollars based on how many U.S. dollars are out there. So you don't get to print whatever you want. On top of that, when you pay back debt... Wait,
so is that like saying the U.S. is net worth?
You pay with the American dollar?
You pay with the American dollar, right. The petrodollar, it's called, right? And so you pay with the U.S. dollar. Now, in the
not great for us.
In the 40s, 50s, and 60s...
No, Canada's good, I think.
In the 40s, 50s, and 60s, that was compounded by the U.S. dollar being pegged to gold. So for every dollar the U.S. printed, they had gold reserves to back it up. In the 70s, 71 I think it was, Bretton Woods is the name of the agreement that enabled this, they got off the gold standard, as it were, and started printing money.
That's where all the deficits came from?
Exactly. Inflation started there, deficits started there, all this stuff started there. Now this has its benefits. One of them, if you're kind of if you're militaristic in terms of your worldview, you can print money to pay for a military that way, and the U.S. has done that. You can print money to pay for social programs that way. The U.S. has done that. The problem is, at some point, you can't just keep running the printer forever. And so you're seeing now in the U.S. They're running the printer over there now for the first time probably since the 80s, and
it's not ideal.
There's a lot of people who are paying a lot of attention to that.
Look what happened in Germany when you start printing money.
The Weimar Republic.
Buddy, you guys are fucking walking around with wheelbarrows of money to pay for bread. Like a loaf of bread.
If you go on Twitter and look up Venezuela, you can see guys like in garbage bags, just full of currency. Your sister and I were just in Hungary a few years ago. In Hungary, a pair of Adidas boots, 200,000 forints. 200,000. Anything is too much.
That's a lot.
You should never make it to this level.
It's just like a lot of physical real estate. That's a lot.
You cannot make it to this level of currency.
So Will and I were talking. What the fuck were we talking? We were just joking around. I was running by Will's house. He was on his front porch reading or whatever the fuck he was doing. I said hi, what's up? I'm like, hey, what's going on? I run by his house, and we were just having a conversation. And somebody walked by, and he just goes, oh, hey, what's going on? He's like, hey, oh, you living here? Because she lives right up the street from Will.
Yeah.
So one of his longtime neighbors essentially, and then he's like, oh, you living here? Like, oh yeah. She's like part time. He's like, oh, you living here? Will she's just like, yeah. I was like, what you just said? She just went, no, I'm not living here. I'm just trapping.
Trapping.
Which got to the conversation of us talking about how much real estate because if you're talking about selling drugs,
I was dying to hear how you were going to
wait.
Valuations and
I'm just talking about physical real estate of product.
Okay.
So we're talking about we're trapping out of Will's house.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how much do you think $1 million of Coke is. Like $1 million of Coke is in
physical space.
Oh yeah, it's probably not that much. Like Coke's pretty expensive, but like $1 million. That's what I said. A skid. But like we're like a brick of Coke, like a kilo of Coke is like a big. I'm like, we start doing the math. We're like, how much?
Big Ziploc bag.
Yeah, but like you think about $1 million. Yeah, sure, whatever. It's fine. Even if it is, it's probably like fucking. Right. I don't know, like a foot by like I don't know 3-4 inches. You know, I'm just saying. That's I don't know. I've never sold bricks of Coke. I don't really know. But we're just talking about like how much is like in physical real estate. How much is $1 million
on TV?
In movies.
It looks like about a big Ziploc bag. Like the biggest one you can get.
So how much a gram? We're talking about a gram of Coke's $80.
Okay.
How much is a pound? It's 512 grams. So how much is a pound? A kilogram is 2.2 or whatever. Is that what it is?
2.2.
So 2.2 pounds of Coke. So you got 2.2. That's like how you do the? I don't know. We did rough math. It was like. I can't even do it right now quickly, but regardless, we're like it turned out to be a lot more than we thought. $1 million worth of Coke is a lot more. Huh. So what you said, 200,000 foreigns for a pair of shoes?
Boost, Ultra Boost.
Right, whatever it was. But like,
you have what does that equate to in American
I'm just saying, real estate, it's insane.
It's the same value, just
$210, $210,000.
So it's worth mentioning that the Hungarian dollar hasn't gone into the Eurozone. So they will take euros there, but they're
Is that a Brexit thing?
Well, like earlier in the year, I was in Indonesia, right? And they go by like $1 million or $1 million rupiah or whatever it is like fucking $20 or something. It's so crazy.
That's product inflation.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So that's why you got guys wheeling wheelbarrows of money and.
Right.
I won't be like I don't think it'll be as exaggerated as that with the States, but it could be. Who knows how much fucking money they're gonna print? And that's why I was that's the Serb shit. I'm like, I'm getting off.
I think I got like $200 out, and it was like $5 million.
You traveled the whole continent.
Crazy.
$200.
Fucking crazy. It's crazy. So like, if you look at the ratios in that regard, it's like kind of scary. So you see, so what's gonna happen? So say the States go fucking belly up.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen? Who's gonna take over?
They won't. I think
there's
nobody.
I'm just saying hypothetically, what's going to happen?
Take over.
This is what I was saying to my brother.
China?
Yesterday. China's got too much to lose.
Well, who's going to take over? Because Canadian dollars compared to the U.S. dollar, we're close.
We're way lower.
We're way lower, but we're closest in comparison. Who's next?
Just imagine if
who's second?
Australia, probably.
What are they?
Or Jeep or the British pound.
The pound.
Yeah, was another one.
Yeah.
You know, my brother was yesterday kind of explaining to me that he thought, it's time for Europe to take over. And I was saying to him, European economies only 20, 30 years ago were so weak that they had to merge for the Eurozone.
That's a bunch of the countries.
You know what I mean? They had no choice but to get together, and even still, they can't really overtake the U.S. dollar in terms of strength.
So what happens? What happens if hypothetically the Europe takes over?
I don't think it'll happen. I think it's just America will just keep printing.
Hypothetically, what would happen is America. America would probably try to
invade.
No, I think they try to price people out with either some kind of currency strength move, like going back to a gold standard, for example, or what we've seen in Venezuela, or tried to see in Venezuela, was a petrodollar a little while ago. There's like options for countries who have their shit together in terms of natural resources. They can peg it to something. So for every American dollar, you get an ounce of gold or an ounce of, or a liter of oil or whatever. Right? There's all kinds of options.
Well, that's the thing. These oil.
The Federal Reserve.
I think is going out.
The Federal Reserve right now is in a situation they've been in before, where they're printing money at rates that are they're unparalleled.
Astronomical. It's insane. Like trillions
of dollars. I was saying to Mike before, Jordan, that one of my leading indicators is if I go to my Nona's house and ask her how she's doing, and we start talking about COVID, if the first thing she asks me is where Trudeau's getting the trillions, it's too many trillions. That's too much, right? If my 90-year-old Italian grandmother is switching from Italian soaps.
And that's a perspective you want to hear.
We are so far in debt, and it is only getting worse right now.
I just want to
it's not crazy. This is the Bitcoin argument.
No, because that could be the new gold. I get it, but
I hope so.
I'm just saying
How has the Bitcoin market been since COVID?
Volume has been high. It's since the big stock market drop. The stock market drop in March, Bitcoin dropped from like 7 something all the way down to 3,900. And the same day, got back shot back up to 7,000. So now it's at about
Same day.
Yeah, it's at about 10,000 now. So for the you can be it's all right. For the
Cool, sweet.
since that March date, it's up about 20%, 25%, more than gold. It's doing better than gold.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
this is like, I mean, regardless of what you think about Bitcoin, the point is that people are looking for things that are not cash or equities, things that are not measured in U.S. dollars. Scoop, cool it, and it's only gonna continue. I think. I don't imagine a world where people are gonna be like, you know what, the printer's running, I'm gonna put my retirement or my house fund or my 401k in the States, or for us RSPs in U.S. dollar denominated assets.
Is that what the 401k is? Is that like equivalent to our RSP?
Basically.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, basically.
Now I know.
Yeah, it's your retirement.
More or less.
What the fuck was I gonna say?
We're an hour and 15 in. We can wrap it up.
No, I want to keep going because I want something to say.
Yeah, I'm in no rush. You want to end it?
That's
No,
something
you
to say.
ready?
No, that's something to
The
say.
only reason I want to end it is because the girl's gonna get back soon.
That's alright. They can go over there and
probably half in the
yip.
bag.
They can go over there and yip. That's alright. Fuck.
Once they get back, then we'll make a different decision. But
Okay,
I say
sure.
we go until they get
I
back.
love it. I love it.
Do we do any sort of sports talk?
What do you want to talk about?
Oh, the match.
Oh,
Pretty
the
well,
match.
the match,
match.
yeah.
Okay.
Which thing?
Tom Brady with that one shot,
The one
Hold
where
up.
he spins it back.
spins it back, holds it in, and then rips his pants, grabbing the ball
Yeah,
out.
great.
That was one of the best moments of all
Great.
time.
Why was it that the match didn't allow more on-course gambling? I want to see more on-course gambling
Dude,
these days.
I think
there was a bit of money.
Was there?
Yeah, there was a bit of money going
Yeah.
around for sure.
No, the bet
And
man.
where's Romo in this? Why can't we get Romo?
Because he's not Tom Brady.
Bart, no, but like, why can't he commentate? Like, Bart
Yeah.
is good, but Romo
True.
would be.
I don't know.
And
But
Romo's a
Romo
scratch
would be-
golfer, right? Romo's a pretty good golfer.
Romo would be calling out the shots. Okay, so he's gonna put it here, and then he's gonna spin it over to there.
Same as on play-by-play.
Is that not what he does?
I know.
Yeah, but golf.
You literally watch
Draw it
football,
up, draw it
and he fucking tells you what's gonna happen
When you're
before.
putting like a
and-
recreational. Okay, if you're watching Tiger,
Yeah.
you can call it.
Yeah.
You're watching Tom Brady, you're like, he can potentially flub the
Might be in
ball.
the trees,
Yeah,
might be
like,
in the
like,
trees.
like I
Brady was
said,
playing like shit.
I said earlier to my dad, like my dad was beaking off like he does, right?
Yeah.
Grab
He
the
just-
paper though.
He's just, he's talking shit. And I'm just like, I had to ask. I'm like, Dad, in your head, do you honestly think you can beat
I
Tom
was
Brady
here
in
for
a
that.
golf
I was
match?
here for that.
And he just goes, no, you fucking kill me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought he would be like, I fucking smoke him.
I don't know if he
My
could.
my dad's a good golfer.
I don't know
He's
if
a
he
golfer,
could.
yeah.
That's a
Tom
good
Brady
golfer.
wasn't very great.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like you have to understand like who he's playing with,
Right.
and then who what he's playing under. Like he's playing with Tiger Woods, and who was the other golfer?
It was
Peyton
it was
Manning.
Phil
Manning,
Mickelson.
wasn't it?
Phil Mickelson. Sorry, I can't
Yeah.
believe I forgot that. So,
Yeah.
literally, like the two best golfers, like
Maybe
of their
ever.
time,
Yeah,
of their time,
well,
right?
The top 5 all time.
Tiger is no question, and
Yeah.
then Phil. Like if you
Top
don't
five
think
all time.
think
Tiger's
Phil
Tiger-
is a legend in
top
golf,
five.
you're confused. Like
Phil
like,
Mickelson,
No,
no.
Woods. I think he said Woods.
Oh, Woods is number one.
Top one.
Woods is
Yeah.
one. Woods is the
But
best
then
golfer of all
Mickelson's
time.
top 5.
Oh, easy, yeah. Easy.
He, like top 3, arguably. Like Phil Mickelson is very good.
So you guys are golfers. Who's on your top 5 golfers? Like I only know Woods,
Jack.
Nicholson, Nicholas. Okay, yeah. Or
Um,
VJ Singh.
Oh, buddy, the new
no,
golf-
not
If you're
BJ.
talking,
Longevity, he's
Oh,
a
dude.
good golfer, but
if you're talking like of all time for me, what I've watched, it goes
Sam
Tiger,
Snead?
Tiger, Rory.
Rory. Yeah.
Rory's number 2,
Rory's
no
2
doubt.
for you?
No.
Rory
Yeah,
won the
definitely
Masters a few
not.
years ago, right? He did.
Rory's
Definitely
number
not.
2. Rory's for
He
me.
won a
For me.
He's grown.
I'm not asking.
Okay, so what
I'm
are you
not,
gonna
I'm
say?
not-
Your top 5.
I'm
Tiger,
trying
Rory.
to.
Yeah.
Tiger, Rory. I got. I like my favorite golfer is Ricky Fowler.
Okay.
He's not a top 5, but he's my favorite golfer.
Okay.
DJ's certainly above him.
Dustin Johnson is the Adam Scott.
I don't even know who Adam Scott is. The other
Who
4
else?
right now.
Fuck, man, it's tough. It's tough because there's a lot of guys that are so good.
What about John Daly?
I mean, Mackenzie
John Daly
Hughes.
is
Mackenzie
so far
Hughes.
out of there.
Mackenzie
Big
Hughes
man.
has got to
Big
be my
man.
top 5.
He might be like the most inspirational golfer that I've ever seen.
John Daly.
For
I love
recreational
drinking
golf,
beers and
for
smoking
recreational
cigarettes
golf,
John
on the
John
golf
Daly's
course.
number 1.
John Daly could clear out a Mandarin buffet.
Have
in
you
about
seen
20
his
minutes.
And then
son?
go out and like hit a 70.
John Daly is along with Trump, I haven't taken a sip of
They look
water
the same.
in my whole
They
life.
look
I
the
just
same.
drink Diet Coke.
Yeah, they look the same.
Diet
They look the
Cokes.
same body
He
type.
had exemption on the U.S. Open. He was driving around in a cart, which
He had a
never
cart?
happens, and he's smoking cigarettes
Did
on
they
the
not
course.
give that guy who had a handicap a problem for the cart? The Canadian guy, a little while back. I forget his name.
I don't know.
This Canadian guy who wanted to take a cart on the Masters, maybe, and they wouldn't let him do it. But he made the cut, and then eventually they caved and let him take the cart.
I'm not too
He,
sure.
he had like some kind of degenerative disease in his leg.
Tony Finau, he had something going on in
All I gotta
his
say
ankle.
is VJ, or what's his name? Who the fuck? It's not VJ Singh.
I hate mosquitoes. I'm
Is it
glad
VJ
to send
Singh?
back out.
The guy who comes up short every fucking major tournament.
I gotta pee. You guys
He's always
carry the
number
show.
1 and 2. He's always number 1 and 2. He always comes. Is it VJ Singh? It's gotta be VJ Singh. He comes up short every fucking time, but he's always in the running. Like that's the thing with golf. It's like the top 10 is always so fucking tight. It's always so fucking tight. It's so
Well, I
hard.
like playing DraftKings because then you can choose 5 golfers. You know the same guys: Justin Rose, DJ,
Justin Rose. Thank you. That's what I'm trying
Justin
to
Rose,
So, yo.
DJ Woods.
So,
you,
yo,
you can pick any of them and be happy with it.
This is one of the best weekends ever. We go to a super good friend of ours' cottage, and a buddy of mine. We go up there the Masters weekend, and we had this bet. It was like, okay, we're gonna pick 2 golfers. Whoever finishes better owes the other guy a case of beer. So he picks Justin Rose, and I pick Ricky.
Who was that you were doing that with? I remember
Dustin.
that. Yeah, Dustin.
So
yeah.
he go, and then they end up 1 and 2 on the Sunday. It was like the most compelling. I've never been so into and that fucking. Now I'm addicted to golf forever because it was the funnest shit. And a buddy of ours, Dustin, he's heavy into golf. And we had that bet, and it was like the most like everyone was so pissed because we were always in the basement just watching golf because it was so competitive.
Right.
And just so happened the 2 guys we picked went 1 and 2. It was like holy fuck, man! It was great, man. Like golf's different. It's so fucking dope.
A lot of people say it's boring to watch. I don't understand it because
Every shot's a
they're
highlight.
circling around
Every
to
shot's a
all the best shots of the day.
It's insane. Like there's
And
like,
then the very end is just, it's the guys that had the best rounds going into that round, so obviously they're all in contention.
it's
I
because
fucking love golf.
it's
watching
because
golf,
it's because
playing
it's
golf,
not,
man. We're playing golf tomorrow.
Yeah.
I am so excited.
It's because
So
it's
excited.
because it's not like the NFL, the NBA, the NHL. Like the NHL is a flow game. The NFL is like both NFL and NBA. They're like there's a 2-hour thing
Right,
or whatever, 3 hours that it takes. The golf, it's a weekend.
right.
Right? So it's like people get bored, oh, you're just watching golf. It's like, dude, if you fucking watch it,
Not anybody that I know can turn on Sunday golf and be upset with it.
well, but
Seems impossible.
because the people that you're talking to, they don't watch golf. They think it's boring. Because I understand, like, the premise of golf is boring. Oh, guys, just get up, hit the ball, it's quiet. Like, there's no crowd reaction except for that one Australian guy. Oh, it's a beauty. Like, that's the best. It's the fucking best. And there's that one hole. I don't know what course it's on, but it's like the 17th or 18th hole, and it's like the crowd, like and they're allowed to be loud. It's like one of the best holes, man.
Well, the best hole is the one on the sort of island, right?
Oh, on TPC Sawgrass.
Yeah, Sawgrass.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I like like a lot of people don't like golf. I understand why they don't like golf. I might as well join you. There's a lot of guys that don't like golf. I get it. Or a lot of people, sorry, that don't like golf. Girls especially, they don't like golf. I get it. Like, at least hockey.
Well, if you
NFL.
have no idea what's going on, I can see people getting bored with it, right?
Yeah, but if you play golf, which is that's how it goes. Like, golfers watch golf. People that don't play golf aren't watching golf.
Right.
But you gotta understand, these guys, every shot is a highlight. And then like the fact that like their highlight shots are like 8 out of 10, and then the 2 out of 10 where they fuck up, that's even better to watch. It's like I want to see these guys fuck up because it's hilarious.
And their fuck up shots are shots that we would love to
Yeah.
have. We
Dude,
would love to have shots like that.
There's a video of Phil Mickelson hitting the ball. Like it's with Tiger. I think it's the match. It's 2 in a row, where 2 years in a row he hits it into the crowd, and then he says it might not be the match, it might be just a round, but he hits it into the crowd, and then the next day he does it again, and he hits both shots. He's like, oh, I'll play from there, and it's like in the stands, and he's hitting off turf. He's like, he fucking hits crazy shots, and he just goes. In the second day he hits, he's like, oh my god, again? I'm doing this again, and then the second shot, crazy shot, man. Like it's crazy. Like, Yeah, golf isn't like, it's not exciting like crash bang like football, hockey, basketball.
Still exciting, you know?
I've been honestly
exciting.
like these days I'm more into basketball right now. I really like basketball. I think I like watching basketball better than I like watching hockey.
It's the
And
best sport.
Basketball is an exciting sport. Football,
Have you guys
football
talked
can go
about-
fuck itself. I can't watch football. I don't
Have you guys
care.
talked about the MJ doc?
Yeah, of course.
Every week you talk about it.
Yeah.
What were your feelings on it?
I thought he's absolutely nasty.
Oh, it's still
Cannot
light
take
on.
that
It's
away.
like after he wins a championship. Oh,
But
it's
it
still
did
light
bring
on.
up
We can go
the-
hit a couple golf
The
shots.
best.
It did bring up the LeBron versus MJ.
Who's better, LeBron or MJ?
I'm like one of the biggest LeBron fans that you could meet.
He's a
That's
dick
not,
rider.
that's
He's a
not what I
dick
asked
rider.
you. Who's better, LeBron or MJ? I think the distance between LeBron and MJ has never been greater. It's never been greater.
MJ.
Yeah,
It's MJ.
never been greater.
Well, MJ, like LeBron was great for the NBA.
Yeah.
I think you guys are a bit crazy right now.
No, just let me finish.
I watched Jordan.
But
Like,
you're
I
a
watched Jordan.
LeBron dick rider.
but he couldn't do anything without Scotty.
Well, I tell you
Right.
what.
That's not true.
I'll tell you
Scotty
what,
was injured and they were
Scotty-
still fucking
and,
killing
and
it.
Jordan came back in his 40s and fucking averaged like 25 points for the Wizards.
And how pathetic was their team?
I don't know how pathetic they were, but
Like,
I
they
know,
were
but
horrible.
I know that he was better in his 40s than Pippen was after he left the Bulls.
And what's LeBron doing? What's LeBron
either
doing
of
with
those-
his teammate?
Either the Blazers and the Rockets would have traded that Jordan Wizards run for either of their Pippen runs. They would have traded that.
Yeah, but
Pippen
that's-
sucked after he left the Bulls. He sucked. And
Because he
you know,
didn't have MJ. It's not that his skills went
MJ
down. He just didn't have the leadership of Michael Jordan.
watching Jordan, like some of those videos where Jordan is like at practice telling guys they suck, punching guys at practice. There's a famous video.
Yeah, they're squaring up.
Famous video.
He
of Kobe-
punched
I'll say this right now. LeBron is the best athlete of all time,
Easy,
No way.
easy.
and
No.
MJ is
I won't argue
probably
that
the
till I'm
best.
dead.
And MJ is still probably the best NBA player of
He's
all
the best
time.
basketball player.
I don't think LeBron is about that best athlete. of all time.
Who you got for best?
I got Muhammad Ali.
Best athlete
Yes.
by what metric?
Do you think LeBron James could box for 12 rounds? Let's just
No, he
say.
couldn't. He couldn't.
If he trained,
Stamina wise,
No way.
stamina
He
wise,
didn't,
why not?
his build is different. His build, he could be
What
a
is-
football
But that's the
player.
thing, right?
What is
Like,
LeBron-
No.
could Muhammad Ali be a fucking the best basketball
He was
player
tall.
of all
The
time?
question isn't. The
He
question is,
was
can,
tall.
Yeah, but fucking LeBron was
let's frame it
juiced.
differently. Let's frame it differently.
You don't think he could knock anybody out?
Let's frame it differently.
Come on.
Let's
That-
frame it as.
that shows you don't know boxing.
Let's
You
frame
being
it-
Jews doesn't mean shit.
Let's frame it as: could LeBron stand and punch for 12 rounds?
Not even close.
I don't know.
Not even close.
I think he could for
I
sure.
respect-
How long is a
respect-
boxing round? 5 minutes? 3 minutes?
I think it's 3.
3 minutes.
So LeBron.
Have you ever done 3 rounds of boxing?
No, but I'm not LeBron James.
I'm just saying.
So LeBron.
Right.
Just to put it into
LeBron
perspective,
plays
I have,
for
and
his,
it's
for his-
crazy.
for his career. LeBron plays probably about 36 minutes a game. So that's 12 rounds with breaks.
And in the playoffs, he's playing about 44
Playing
minutes a
basketball.
44. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not switched
game. The whole
on for
game,
that.
playing
He
hard
is,
defense,
he is on. He is
playing
in the
hard
playoffs.
offense.
He is in the playoffs.
He's not
Like,
switched on for 36 minutes.
For the playoffs, he is.
He's not. No, there's a way bigger difference
Mm.
in being switched on in the NBA than being switched on in a boxing ring.
Talking about it.
Because you're switched on in a boxing ring. There's a guy trying to take your fucking head off.
Mike, I'm
LeBron
not
James can
disagreeing
relax
with
for at least seconds on the dog.
But I'm not disagreeing with this at all. But like he wasn't training in the boxing ring, sparring every week, right?
Don't
Like,
forget
that's
the
all I'm
mic.
saying.
Don't forget
Right?
the mic.
That's all I'm saying. Is that either one of them might have been good in the other person's sport. Like I guess that's not really a debate that you can have.
Is that
It's
really,
a tough debate to have. Yeah.
It's
Is
not
that
a debate
really-
that you can
is
have.
that
That's
That
why
the
we
other
should-
person would be
we should
good
never
in the
be
other
We
sport.
should never be qualifying like who the best athlete is by.
It's
what
it's
sport
impossible to
they
do
play.
it. It's impossible to do
Right.
it. Joe Sakic about
I don't
But
think-
like
I don't think we
Tom
should
Brady, not even close to
we've
one
had-
of the best athletes of all time.
We've had this conversation,
But he's
and
just
I'm
a
pretty
winner.
sure you've called in on the show when we had this conversation.
Well,
I'm pretty sure you did.
I
did.
called
You
him
said
for
LeBron
like
James.
1
You said
minute.
LeBron
say
James.
I called him for
You did
1
say
minute.
James.
But
And
you said
guys-
LeBron James.
But that was in the.
and he's in
And you were
he's
right
in,
with
he's in
me.
the conversation for
Joey, you
sure.
were right with me.
that conversation was for best athlete. I think in terms of lady killing potential, was it not?
No.
No, it was best athlete, but like they do go hand in
I thought
hand.
we talked about that.
And
We
you
did.
said Tiger Woods was
No,
in
I
there.
didn't say he was. I said Muhammad Ali was the best one. I think
Was
he
he?
is because boxing, and like, look, I will admit right now I am biased because yes, fighting is my favorite sport. I think it's different.
You've always been a fight fan.
I've just never. It's different than a game.
I
It's
got,
not
I got
a
a
game.
question for you here, though. Like,
Sure.
say John Jones fought Muhammad Ali
In what?
in UFC
John Jones would smoke him.
and
Yeah.
in boxing.
Muhammad Ali was prime and prime.
Yes.
Muhammad Ali takes him in the boxing room every time.
Kind of already seen
John
Right.
Jones
So
smokes him
who's a
again.
better athlete?
We just watched.
You can't really say.
Well, we just.
And that's just
That's
between
not- that's
two
not-
fighting.
no, that's not a
We
good
just
argument.
watched.
And
Like
then, but that's in two similar sports.
Did we not just watch like a past his prime, way past his prime, Mayweather, completely destroy?
He didn't destroy
Conor.
him. He didn't destroy him.
No, but he clearly
He destroyed him.
He clearly beat him.
In the last few rounds, he was playing
Mayweather's
for
never-
rounds.
But
Dude, the fact that Conor came out of the UFC, out of MMA,
Yeah.
and he went to Floyd's comfort zone.
But Mike, I gotta say
think
this.
about the difference.
Where's the bug spray in this
If Floyd
fucking
came
place?
to,
I gotta say this though.
let me finish. If Floyd came to MMA, Conor would dismantle him in 30 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Conor went 10 fucking rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will also say this: Mayweather's never been a knockout artist. That's never
That's
been
right.
his thing.
He's distance and jabs.
He's
yeah.
just
Yeah.
Fair, but,
Right,
but
so-
the fact that Conor goes 10 rounds and Conor would
Definitely
annihilate him in 30 seconds,
It's
that
not
fight
to
would
be
be
discounted.
over.
It's not to be discounted.
Be over.
For
You're
sure,
right,
yeah.
but it's the difference. It's the fact that Conor McGregor gets credit because he went out of his comfort zone, is where a lot of these guys won't do it. Like
Right.
LeBron James. I'll put it this way: LeBron James has no business in a boxing ring. Even if no matter what he trained, I don't
When he
think he
gets
would do
some
well.
buzz,
He
right?
wouldn't do well. Sure, he wouldn't do well. If LeBron James decides to play football, he would do well. If he decides to play hockey and
Right.
he could skate, he would do well. You play play MMA. If you
But he never grew up being a fighter.
fair.
So that's all it is, right? And Muhammad Ali never grew up being a basketball
Well, you're
player.
just looking at giant men,
Right.
and who are at like peak
John
physical
Jones,
conditions.
LeBron James.
The only problem with John Jones, the only reason why John Jones' legacy gets tarnished is because he fucked himself.
Right.
All the off scene shit, like you know what I mean?
But
Steroids.
but even this in
coke.
hockey, right? Gretzky versus
Gretzky's
versus Crosby.
Gretzky, yeah,
You know that Crosby's definitely the better hockey player
by a lot.
by a lot.
It's just timing.
But Gretzky's still the greatest hockey player of all time,
Yeah. Well, his records are untouched. They'll never be touched.
right?
Because the
Would
game's
Muhammad Ali have beaten Mike Tyson?
Yeah, it's a conversation.
Right.
It's Muhammad Ali. If you put prime in prime, Muhammad Ali can take the best of the best at all times. The thing is, Muhammad Ali's fighting heavy. Yeah,
Mike Tyson was taking the best of the best.
yeah, of course he was, but they were different. They were at different times. So like that fight should have happened. That would have been awesome. If that fight happened, that would have been a pinnacle of sports history.
Yeah.
Straight up, like there's no question. And I just look at boxing. Like I said, I am biased.
Yeah.
Because I look at it different because I've experienced sports and I've experienced fighting.
It's the same with all sports, though. If the
not.
Golden State Warriors 73-9 team with fucking Kevin Durant
and 9.
on the team facing off against the Bulls, you think that the Bulls would beat
Who knows?
the Golden State Warriors? Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green.
It's a tough sell because it's a different game.
Okay, listen, we're wrapping this podcast up.
It's just a different game.
Do you think that the Golden State Warriors would have lost to the Bulls?
Yes.
Yeah,
You think?
right.
It's
Yeah.
a different game
Yeah,
they're playing.
right.
Everybody's playing
I
a different
think,
game.
I think
You think MJ would carry the team over top of Durant?
No, but you
Curry,
gotta understand
Thompson?
the Golden State
I think-
Warriors have to
Like,
play
you-
against
come on,
MJ.
like,
you know
that's
what I
crazy.
think? I think that people who discount MJ because of the style of play are also discounting MJ's work ethic.
It has
Like,
nothing to do with the style of play. It's the team. It's a full team
Oh my
game.
God, man, it's a different game.
I mean,
the game is way different.
Draymond Green is really modeled as a Rodman, and guy like
Right.
Durant is Pippen plus. I'll give you that.
Pippen
But
plus
do you-
a plus a
but do you
bit.
think? But do you think
Plus a
like
lot.
but
Plus
do you-
Curry and Thompson. Thompson's a fucking
You know,
great
you gotta-
defender.
great defender.
And
So
he can
good.
shoot the three.
And how many mid-range jumpers have the Golden State Warriors taken?
Doesn't matter.
Zero.
Plus they have Clay and
That's what I'm saying. So
what, against Steve Kerr? Like, come on.
my
No,
point is the game
This
is
is
a
the
completely
I can't
different.
believe-
team game.
I think it would be a closer series than a lot of people give it credit for. I'll say
It'd be
that.
a
We
game
gotta-
seven.
We gotta wrap
It'd be
this
a
up
game seven.
because the mosquitoes are driving me nuts, and we need some fucking bug spray. We don't have any.
All right,
Final thoughts.
Adidas.
Go.
Adidas.
Stock tips. Go.
Okay, so this is like Joey did like a 40-minute review on Spotify, and this
I
how
listened to
deep
the earnings call.
This is how deep he is on this. So this is how I pick stocks. And by the way, I'm leading Joey and Will, and we
You
have
are.
a fake stocks profile.
I know you mentioned it to me and I wanted to get in badly.
You can
but
get in if you want. Absolutely get
Is
in.
it too late?
No, just get in. It doesn't matter. There's no time. It doesn't matter.
The
Just get
money's
in.
all made up.
It's fake money.
It's whose line is it anyway?
So anyway, I'm
Stocks.
leading, but I gotta tell you, my front runner is Adidas, and why I picked them is not. I wouldn't recommend you take my approach because I don't know shit. Like Will and Joey are calculated. I'm just looking at shit that I know, and I bought Adidas, and it was basically seasonal. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, you know what? A lot of people, it's summer's coming. People are gonna want running shoes and yada yada yada. And this is what I know. Like this is what I know. I like buying athletic gear and all that. And I'm looking at Adidas. I was looking at their trends and yada yada, all that shit. I'm like, Adidas is doing better than Nike. Reebok is kind of whatever. And I'm looking at Adidas. Adidas is the one thing that's like maintained. Like Adidas is broad in athletic gear.
It's a mainstay.
Everything, right?
Yeah.
Everything. Like their head competitors, Nike.
Yeah.
And I think Adidas is doing a lot better. I don't know why. I don't get it. I don't care. I bought Adidas. I bought Nike too, and they're going on the down. But I bought more Adidas.
I own Nike in my real portfolio with real money.
Buy Adidas because I'm killing it in Adidas. Adidas fucking shut up. I don't know why. Do you know why?
Yeah.
Do you know why? Why?
I have no
why?
idea. I don't follow Adidas. I don't even follow Nike. I like Nike because I think it's like a.
I'm surprised you don't own more athletic stuff.
Well, I just think Nike's really the only Teflon brand there. I think Adidas kind of operates more in the soccer realm, which I think is more ebb and flow and
skateboarding.
I also like, a
Converse, Under Armour,
Yeah,
they're all
and
trying their best out here.
And
But
just a bet.
Converse is a classic
the other
basketball
thing,
brand.
The other thing too that I don't love about
boxing,
Adidas is that
shit.
a bet on Adidas is like inherently a bet against Nike, and I'm not willing to bet my own money.
Is that just a
Nike.
personal thing?
I just think
that's
that's
not personal at all.
It's a market share thing. I don't think if I had to bet one way or the other in 50 years who was going to be the king, I would bet Nike.
I think that you could bet for both of them, and you would probably be still making money.
I may buy some Adidas at some point, not after the fucking run.
I think you take both though, and you're making money on both.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
I've made money on Nike so far, but only because I bought it in March, and I don't know if it's something that I would keep long term. There's a couple different levels of stock, right? There's stuff that I keep for like a week or 2 weeks or a month.
Then you exit the position.
There's something for years.
There's stuff that I keep for years, and there's stuff that I'll never sell. And I think Nike is in
Amazon, Apple, all that. That's what you never sell.
It's Amazon,
Tesla.
it's Apple, it's Tesla. Never, I would never buy Tesla.
Really?
Yeah, it's Amazon.
What is that?
Apple. I think
Tesla's.
They're at their peak.
Yeah, I think Elon's a bit of a fraud.
I don't.
I think that's crazy, but
well, whatever.
That's all. That's all.
That's something we should talk about for an hour, 40 minutes in. The thing I don't like about Adidas compared to Nike, compared to some of these other guys, is that again, Nike I think has the biggest bankroll. That's huge when it comes to signing athletes.
Oh yeah. That made LeBron James a millionaire. Is his Nike deal? Or billionaires, or not millionaires.
He's on a one lifetime $1 billion deal.
And
but then he also has his brand.
Can I please bring it back to the conversation?
Mm-hmm.
What somebody said, I don't know who it was. It might have been Kobe. No, it wasn't Kobe.
I don't know.
Somebody said they were just like, if I wanted to win championships, I'd play with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
If I wanted to win championships, I'd play with Kobe.
Yeah.
If I wanted to have fun, I'd play with LeBron. Yeah. And that's why LeBron isn't the greatest athlete of all time.
I think a lot of guys have their own bones to pick with James now, especially. I mean, I look at guys
he's fucking around and it's fine.
I look at guys like James.
He can single-handedly carry a team to a championship.
But he hasn't.
Cleveland?
Hasn't.
He hasn't done it? I thought he did.
They went and got Irving.
No, he
did.
They got Irving.
Hasn't done it.
So that's kind of in MJ's benefit.
That's his.
MJ can carry a team.
So it depends on how you feel about Pippen. So Pippen was the guy they got in the draft.
Dude, he was fucking injured in that one. You know,
and he was like second place in MVP voting.
The next year.
Behind MJ.
The next year.
So it's like he had the two best players in the league.
Pippin's a really good player. I think a lot of people don't give him credit.
He is a very good player. Of course he is.
He's the model for guys like...
he's too emotional.
Guys like Kawhi Leonard. He's the model for that. That guy
Kawhi Leonard... That guy's gonna go down in the history.
I mean, you watched that Raptors run that Leonard had last year. Like that guy.
The fact that guy led us to a championship.
I got a quick question here.
Yeah.
Top 5 Raptors of all time.
Is
Kawhi in there? And then where is he in there if he is?
He's number 1.
He's number 1 or 2.
He's number 1 or 2.
He's number 1.
He's number 1 or 2.
He's number 1. Junkyard Dog, eh? JR?
No, but I'm thinking.
J-Dubs?
I'm thinking
Are you
VC.
thinking about this because Carter just retired?
Vince Carter's number 1.
No. This is something I had with my buddies like probably a couple months ago. It's so VC, right?
Yeah.
And then you got Kyle Lowry.
I think Lowry's 2.
right?
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think
He's,
Rodgers-
He is very
he
good.
won the championship.
he's-
Plus,
he was the
plus
reason-
he's a tenured player
That's
for
right,
years
And
and
he's
years.
the reason Raptors are competitive.
We
with
got Chris
Kawhi.
Bosh.
Chris
not-
Bosh
he's
is
not-
broken
he's
down.
not in my
Chris
top-
Bosh is
he's
certainly in the top
He's not
five.
in my top 5. He's
How?
not in my top 5. He left as soon as he
Okay.
could. He's not in my top 5.
He certainly didn't leave as soon as he could. He was
Loyalty-
there for
loyalty
8 years.
aside.
8 years on the team.
Yeah.
Loyalty
he,
aside.
he left as soon as he was good enough for someone else.
Well, he wanted to get some rings.
Yeah.
Fucking who cares?
I don't-
The
I don't hold
Raptors
it-
were
I don't hold
so
it against him.
trash
I don't hold it
until-
against him, but I don't think he's in the top 5.
Until Masai came around, the Raptors were so trash.
We had a couple of good years with Carter and Davis. We beat the Knicks in round 1, took the Iverson Sixers to 7.
Right.
Miles Davis is Miles Davis.
Antonio Davis.
That's-
Take it.
That's the second biggest
Sorry.
shot in Raptors history. Is the
I'm-
Vince Carter miss.
The miss.
That's
yeah.
the second
And that's
biggest
the shot
shot.
that Kawhi hit.
Kawhi's number one. That
Kawhi's
shot.
number one.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't even know if he's number one.
Kawhi
I don't
goes
even know if he's number
one
5.
season and gets us a show. So
He knew, and everyone knew the whole time. Like, he's not gonna stay. He's not staying. Like,
Oh no, he's buying a house
They
like
could-
Toronto. It's like
Who
he's looking
cares?
at good precious
Who
real
cares?
If he had
Yeah.
stayed, they could win this year for sure.
Yeah,
they
they would.
might still win this
They
year.
could.
That's what
They
no.
might still win this
No
year.
way.
Well, they're at least
They're missing a
they're in the
superstar.
conversation.
That's all it is. They're missing a
We're
superstar,
gonna
and
see,
he
we're
was the
gonna see.
superstar.
My top 5 Raptors, probably off the cuff, are Kawhi,
VC.
Lowry,
VC.
DeRozan, Carter,
DeRozan.
and I think my
Bosh.
fifth. I think my fifth one is probably Antonio Davis.
There's not a chance. If anything, you're putting Mo Pete over
What do you,
Davis.
So what?
Why is he
what's
not
your?
allowed as a
What's
mid?
your?
What
sort
did
of
Davis
your,
do? Look up his stats at least.
See, I'm
How
not-
many
I'm not-
All-Star
I'm not-
appearances he
I'm not
had?
really
And
I'm not really
also,
thinking about stats.
Can
I'm
I ask
not
a
thinking
question?
Oh, so this
Ask
is
a
just like
question.
how
It's
how
like,
much he
it's
meant
like,
to the
It's
city.
like, what contribution did you make to the franchise? Do you remember, Jordan? You're too young to
Junkyard
remember
Dog.
this. You're too young to remember
Yup,
when
yup.
the Bosch Raptors
Right.
went on a, I think it was like a 14-game or 12-game winning streak to finish the season and make it into the playoffs
Right.
in what was otherwise a lost season, the Carter fake injury season.
Yeah.
Hey, basketball heads. Can I ask you a question? Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think Toronto wins last year if Klay Thompson doesn't blow his knee out?
Yeah,
Clay Thompson,
yeah, he blew his knee on the last
Kevin
game.
Durant.
Durant was the problem.
That's fine. He was out to
Kevin-
begin with.
No,
Wasn't he out the whole
He
series?
was out. He came back against Toronto. He was out for.
But he was
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm saying like Klay Thompson in that final game, he blows his fucking
Do they?
knee.
Does
the
Toronto
Raptors
win?
wouldn't have won if Clay or Kevin Durant weren't in.
I think.
Or if either one of them were in, we would have lost.
I think they win regardless.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah, I think they win
Fair
regardless.
enough. Well, I mean, it's
Clay and Durant in.
Clay.
Come on, man.
Clay only blew. His,
Don't be that crazy.
Clay only blew his knee out. I think with like 4 minutes to go in the last game.
was the game
Right.
not
Yeah.
close?
But it's the Durant out.
It was close.
Is the-
Durant
So Clay's not a clutch player. He
Durant
can't just
out-
fucking
Oh, he's-
drain threes
he's-
like nothing.
Why is that
He's
absolutely unreal?
clutch. He's clutch. But Clay, much like Pippen in yesteryear, Clay Thompson's a very skilled player, great shooter, one of the best of all time. But
Yeah.
when you got
Yeah, he beats
Curry
Steph Curry.
on your team, you're never going to see 2 defenders. You're never going to be the first help rotation. Is never going to be Thompson.
And what about when you have Durant on your team and Curry?
Even better, you're never going to get that. You know what I mean? Like you're going to get a lot of open looks. You're going to get a lot of open looks.
I hate the Warriors so much, and I think they're the best team of all time by a
They're
mile.
there.
I think they're
By
in
a
the
mile.
conversation. No problem.
I
No
think
problem.
They're pretty
man.
good. They're one of the best.
They had Iguodala,
Mm-hmm.
Livingston. Like their team was just so
How
stacked.
undefeated did they go? How undefeated did they go in that?
73-9. They had the best team, and then they picked up Durant.
They had the most. They had the most. They
in
won-
that season. That
they
was
won
that
30
season.
30
Wasn't it?
games or something
They
like that.
swept the Cavaliers with LeBron.
Yeah.
So it's like,
No, they never swept them. They never swept them.
No.
They beat them 4-1. Yeah. They beat them 4-1.
was that in the series where J.R. Smith ran out
That's
the
right.
other way?
That's right.
LeBron had 50,
they lost-
51 points,
They lost
and
game
then
3. But they lost
So you
game
don't
1
think
in that series.
you don't think
That's
Michael
what
Jordan
happened.
would have made that a better fucking game? Than
Hard to
LeBron?
say. It's hard to say. All these
it's just the team.
the comparisons.
The
for
Bulls
Jordan,
team was. It's another era, but they just
We've
come on. man.
talked about Jordan on this podcast a few times
Phenomenal.
and compared him to
Phenomenal.
LeBron. One of the things, you watch that documentary, okay, and you look at some of the stuff that Jordan was doing in his free time. He's
Eating fucking stale
he's
pizza.
smoking.
getting
He's
food.
smoking cigars.
Yeah.
Drinking whiskey.
I love it,
eating
man.
pizza. Fetching Rodman out of Carmen Electra's hotel
Love
in
it,
another
bro.
state. LeBron James, in his spare time, sleeps in a contraption that keeps his knees lubricated. Has a
Yep.
chef
Right.
that cooks for him.
That's why. That's
No,
why
these
MJ
are-
wins,
these are
bro.
different
No, because
times.
all I'm saying is that
MJ
the
wins.
competition was just the competition these days. With
MJ played against a lot of off-duty mall cops. I think you're right. I think he
There's
did.
so many trash players. You watch some of the games and you see some of the guys out there.
I think
Cartwright.
Yeah, I know. I think
But the center there, he would never play in the NBA,
but like,
let alone on the championship team.
But I also look at the careers that MJ ended. Like Starks and Ewing, those guys are all-time great players.
Right.
Couldn't get
Malone.
past MJ.
Right.
Malone
The
and Stockton
mailman.
couldn't get past MJ. Kevin Johnson, Barkley couldn't get past MJ.
You're right.
I'm just
You know,
saying,
like, the
if
list
you're
goes on
looking,
and
if you're
on.
looking at timing, MJ and like what he done.
LeBron.
Just let me finish.
Yeah.
If you look at MJ and what he's done, and if you were to put LeBron James and Michael Jordan in a conversation with each other, timing aside, it would be a fucking crazy matchup. Like if like we were saying earlier,
In their primes.
if you put Sidney Crosby against Wayne Gretzky, Sidney Crosby would be dancing on him.
Dancing.
Or Connor McDavid. Like, you know,
They're bigger
dancing.
physical specimens. Right?
It's
But
just
that's
a
just what it
different
is in
game.
the NBA too, right?
Yeah.
Like, who knows how those guys would have been
But LeBron,
with the technology and
but
the
MJ was
advanced
playing
data
at
these
disadvantage
days.
anyways. He was only what 6'6".
Who?
Only MJ.
Jordan's was 6'6", yeah, 210.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
LeBron is 6'9".
260.
But they played different positions, right? Scottie Pippen was the same size as LeBron.
But we're not comparing Scottie Pippen and
Pippen was
and
probably
LeBron.
30 pounds lighter than James is.
like
Exactly.
LeBron. If LeBron's winning a championship, he's got a team behind him.
LeBron is a one-of-a-kind athlete in a lot of ways. One of them, the most key way, I think, is that the guy's been
I
able to
agree.
steer clear of every major injury. His peers have all either fallen by the wayside because of age or fallen by the wayside because they've had serious injuries late in their
Longevity
career.
in any career,
It's
or
incredible.
in
It's
any
incredible.
sport, longevity-wise, he is
He's incredible.
Yeah, well, he doesn't.
an anomaly.
Yeah.
Which is why
Absolutely not.
Kawhi kind of got some heat. He's taking rest. Like LeBron James doesn't take a game off.
LeBron
Takes
James.
a couple games,
Couple
but,
games.
but it'll be like
LeBron
one
James
game
is not
every
taking half
couple
the
of
fucking
weeks.
season.
Don't forget, a couple of years ago, LeBron James disappeared from Miami for about 2 weeks in the middle of the season to rest up. And LeBron James, infamously, if you look at the advanced metrics, doesn't play defense from about games 20 to game 70. He doesn't play any defense.
But he's there.
He's a turnstile.
He's a fan favorite.
He's a turnstile.
In the last 5
He's
years,
30.
let's
He's an
say.
economic
Yeah,
plus.
the last 5
You
years,
gotta
let's say.
play. You gotta play because
He was one of the best defensive players in the league
He still is.
for
When he's
10
locked,
years
when
in
he's
a row.
locked in, he's still
In the playoffs, yeah.
best.
But Michael Jordan was always on.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
LeBron that doesn't have that. That's
Yeah.
why I look at LeBron. I'm like,
Okay,
we got to.
We're packing this up. Jordan, final thoughts about your first appearance. What do you think? What do you give yourself out of 10? If
I give myself a 4.
4.
But what I will say is I really appreciate you guys having me on. I just really don't want you guys to bring on Jesse. Jesse's begging to get on, and he doesn't deserve
Is
it.
he trying to get on?
Oh, begging.
Really?
He's one of our fucking top listeners.
Hey, Jess. What up, brother?
No comment.
I didn't say it.
I gave you a strong 7 on your first showing. You were good. You clammed up at the beginning. I think between the beer and the comfort, you kind of loosened up.
Right, but not all topics I'm going to have the knowledge that you guys have, right? It's the same, like,
Sure,
if I were
have
to
no
bring up
knowledge
something
on
else.
any topic.
Right.
I had a big mouth
You got an opinion on everything, I'll tell you
for
that.
some reason.
So to finish tonight, buy some Adidas sock. Good night and God bless. Jesse, you're never coming on. Scoop, if you're licking your fucking paw when I get off this mic, there's gonna be big trouble to be had.
Honestly, everybody go out and buy some stonks,
Stonks, Shake Pay,
Shake Bay,
Shink pay.
hashtag Shake
and
Pay.
what's the ad
Promo
that you
code
do?
Stonks.
Anchor.
Anchor.
Our
Anchor's our-
holding support.
That's right. Making our podcast on Anchor.
All right, guys.
Good night and God bless.
I appreciate you all.